Welcome to the Sit Rep Podcast. I'm
Hello,
your host.
everyone.
I'm your host tonight, Marty. So strap in. For our friends that are over in the UK, let's see, it's 8 o'clock Central Time in the US, so that makes it 1 or 2 in the morning. I don't know about the time how the time change thing went.
It's
So
1:01 a.m.
there you go.
That
So coming
you're
out of the
doing this
pub,
because you're scared of tough years.
that's it. Hold on, and there is. Hold on, where's he at? There he
Hey,
is.
Jim.
Our good friend Jim. So
What's going
uh,
on?
we are up and running, sir. So everything you say will be broadcast to the interwebs.
We hope.
Slancha, thanks for being on the show. Our fearless we're doing this without assets because our fearless leader is not joined us yet. So we did it. We did a cold start. How you doing? Good to see everyone this evening. And here's the one
Oh,
asset I can pull up. Join us as we get ready to discuss our hobby time, what's going on in the hobby, as well as kind of the road to Adepticon. And hold on, there we go.
Hey, here
That's
we go.
it. That's it.
insert the
That's all right.
audio there.
Yeah, yeah. For those of you that are regular viewers and listeners, yeah, insert audio here. I don't have it, or if I do, I don't know how to use it. So let's make that go away. Thanks for being on the show. All
Hey,
right,
I'm
now
We're
impressed that we
back
got him
at the
that much.
Sit Rep Podcast, your source for all things military and historical board gaming.
see that I'm
There we
telling
go.
you, it's a team effort here. It's
It
a
is.
team effort. So if things seem jacked up, it's me because I'm running this.
The inmates are running the asylum. It's all good.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
I'm trying to figure out how to make that
Blame it
go
on
away.
Fred.
Where's my chat? Hold on, I'm trying to find chat. Oh, there we go, chat. All right. Hey, look at that. Okay, good deal.
We got one
Now,
more guest on tonight's stream, my good buddy Jim Beam.
well,
Got the
my
captain.
my friend, my Irish friend Smittix has joined us.
There you
There
go.
you go.
It's been that kind of week.
It
Yeah,
has.
how about it? So speaking of weeks, let's go ahead and talk about a little bit of hobby stuff. And I want to start with Chris because I know that dude's been getting it done. He's been getting after it and all sorts of stuff. So, Chris, share with us what you've been doing since our
No
last
one's
show.
going to hear this because everybody's asleep over in the UK, but I have actually painted a whole unit.
A whole unit, not a whole army. Working on it. Work in progress.
Who are you and what have you done with Chris?
Yep.
Right?
Yep. Well, they're not perfect, and I mean, done is one of them relative things because in this hobby, is anything ever really done?
That's, hey, it's done when we say it's done.
Right.
Yep.
I have to put a second coat on my basing and touch up some of the wets where I want stuff to be wet.
Touch
Yeah.
the wet. Got it.
I'm
Yep.
still not convinced the real Chris isn't actually in a
Yeah.
card trunk in Las
And,
Vegas somewhere.
and Marty and Bill and Dawn have all seen it.
Yeah, I've seen it live. Yeah.
Epic. Good deal.
Yep.
It's actually some stuff. So, but you've been doing
10.
more than that.
Yep.
What else have you
Um,
been doing?
I've been playing a lot of Age of Sigmar.
Yeah, yeah.
Trying to get good at that. Pulled out a win last week on a technicality. And doing
That's why
some
we have
good
rules.
D&D for. We're playing some good D&D.
Very nice, outstanding. Well, I'm glad to hear that you. I know that you've been super involved and super busy, whether it's
Yep.
painting, playing. Full disclosure, Chris and I are now full-fledged, sworn members of the Holy Hammers Gaming Club. So, and that's primarily Age of Sigmar based,
Yep.
hence our interest in Age of Sigmar.
Yep.
Run by our good friend Steve Herner.
Yep.
He's also the one that runs the Holy Hammer the Holy Wars and the Holy Havoc AOS tournaments out here.
Yeah. Oh, and
Hey,
in
Benny, what's
addition,
up, buddy? Thanks for
yeah,
joining us.
welcome. And also, to help a friend out, I was the GM at
right.
Flight on Wednesday.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about that, my friend.
So, Flight is a wine tasting and bottle shop out in Yorkville, Illinois. And our good friends over at Critical Grind, they work with a number of the breweries around here, and the second Wednesday of every month they have a game night over at Flight.
Yep.
So to help out Josh while he's in class, call me sometime when you have no class. Um,
Have no class.
I Yep, I took over for him, so we went out there. Had some good friends show up. Steve and his wife, and my nephew
Oh,
Alex.
nice. Good times. Good times.
Yep,
Loving it.
yeah, it was a good time we had by all.
There we go. Trying to figure out how to make the screen bigger. I don't know how.
I
With
made
three
yours
people,
all
it's
fuzzy.
making, well, it made mine half the screen, but it made you guys bigger. That's what I was trying to do.
Yeah, but you're
Make
still.
it bigger. Oh, all right, thanks, Chris. Appreciate that. And I am not strapped into my chair. I'm strapped into some Smittix right now. How you
Captain
doing?
Morgan.
Yeah. Ah, yeah. Good times. Good times.
Yep.
So, all right.
What about
So,
you?
I've done a little bit with the Holy Hammers. Now I was hobbying more than playing, although we did get a game in since the last time we met, which I think I won. Oh no, it was like
No,
2 in the morning when we finished. Maybe we tied.
was that you, me, and Steve?
Yeah.
You and I beat up on each other, and he just waited in the background and killed us.
No, 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 no. The one after that, where I played the Stormcast.
Oh,
Steve
okay.
lost. It was either you or I that won.
Yeah, I
But
don't remember.
yeah, I was gonna say it was 2 in the morning. We might have had a couple of cocktails. We
Or a
started at
few.
7, so
Yeah.
I thought that
it
game
was.
was supposed to be fast.
Well, if you don't know the
Well,
rules,
I was gonna say if you know the rules, it probably goes a lot faster. Turns out it was a learning game for us. And we didn't play with all the rules because we're not ready for that.
I thought
My
like
brain
isn't
can't
like the
handle.
rule book like 2.5 pages or something?
It's a little
yeah,
bit more than that, but
yeah,
yeah,
but
it's
not much.
Three
not
and
a
a
But
half.
whole lot.
every unit
Yeah,
has some
I was gonna say
ability or something like
All
that.
right.
the problem is you've got the core rule book. It's a GW game, right? You got the core rule book, and then you got the army book that tells you what your army can actually do. Ugh. So
So,
yeah,
and with everything, there's caveats. So
yeah,
during the hero phase, you have the beat
yeah.
this and that, and then you can make spells or dispel, and then you have to this and that.
If there's a blood moon on a second Tuesday of the month, then yeah, it's crazy. So yeah, trying to keep up with all of that stuff. It's launching to you too, Chris.
Yep. So what's tomorrow? We're doing another game day, and
Adepticon prep for the club.
yep, and Marty and I are not playing in Adepticon. No,
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 we'll be
no.
playing at Adepticon, not Age of Sigmar,
I
but we
don't need.
can.
I don't even understand the tournament rules, like what games they're playing.
Yeah,
I know it's 5 games, and two of them seem like, or the first three seem like it's regular games, and then I don't know how they play the fourth and fifth game.
yep,
I don't understand it.
yeah.
It's good.
I don't
Good thing I'm not trying to do it.
right, but we will definitely be playing some games at Adepticon.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So what about you, Jim?
James, what have you been doing? Have you got any hobby in? Because I know that your work's been crazy.
Yeah, it's a rough time at work, but we're just about through it. But despite all that, yes, I have gotten some hobby done this week. I honestly don't really want to talk about it just yet because it's going to be sort of the subject of Saturday's, or I should say Sunday morning's video. So stay tuned for that.
All right,
That'll be up
fair enough.
in about 2 days. But I will say this: it involves 28 millimeter, which is kind of weird for me. It's not really a scale
What?
I tend to work with, but once in a while,
Yeah,
try something new.
Yep.
I was gonna say that's not normally what you're doing. So I'll be interested to see that.
Yep.
Yep.
Stay tuned, folks.
Yeah. So something that Marty failed to mention on Sunday, he was knighted.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah,
Oh,
by St. Baldrick's. we do the Chris and I and Jesse
Some
Baltz,
friends.
friend of mine from church, and Bill Hertzner, a dude that we just grabbed off the street. No,
Oh, yeah.
he's a friend of ours as well. All do the St. Baldrick's Foundation's Shaving for a Cure. So You'll notice that Chris and I are currently quite clean shaven. That's because Sunday was
Look like a
shaved in.
couple of first phase recruits from 3rd
Right?
Battalion.
But I
Right.
still have a mustache though.
I
Oh yeah.
mean, I before it's a much better look because before I went, I looked like either depending on which photo you look at, either like I just got done burying the bodies in the backyard, officer, and I'm proud of it, or some sort of crazy leprechaun.
No,
Oh,
you
oh.
right. You might when you didn't have it blown out. You reminded me of some like 1910 Sherlock Holmes wannabe.
I'm gonna go with it with serial killer look.
I was
It-
picturing like Sasquatch on crack, kind of a
Yeah. Oh, you
yeah,
have to
yeah.
see the one where he was blown out. No, it was
Yeah, Jim, you should see that. Here we
almost
go.
afraid to now.
yeah.
All right, we'll try and keep this a family show. Although
They know
it is
better,
evening.
and it is us.
Yeah,
It's after dark. It's all good.
that's
It's
right.
it's a
This
backstage
the sun's
backstage
past
show.
the yard arm. Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's
100.
Sun's past Jim Beam arm.
Yeah, 100%.
Uh,
All right. Anything hobby related that you can share with us other than that quick teaser, Jim?
well, we did have a video talking about GDW Assault last week, which has done really well. We've had a really great response to that. That community is bigger than I thought. I thought I was talking about some kind of bygone classic. And then all of a sudden it's like, no, there's this Facebook page, there's that Facebook page, there's this website, and I was like, oh shit, I was talking about it like an archaeologist. And next thing you know, people are coming at me out of the woodwork saying, we play it here on
Right.
Vassal, we play it here on Facebook, we play it, and it keeps getting updated. So yeah, there's stuff way past Desert Storm, way past like scenarios that people make for themselves. The game's been out of print since I think GDW. Yeah, it's an old company. I'm not sure they've been too active since the '90s, but yeah, we might wind up with some. I said in the video that we wouldn't be doing any GDW or I should say specifically assault content on the channel because the game is not solitaire friendly and it uses these very I think they're really great. They call them scenario force rules or like hidden movement rules. Every game is a double blind game and you don't need a referee the way they run it, but it makes it really hard to virtualize and really hard to solitaire. But yeah, once I found this big community after that video went out, yeah, I've been getting some ideas, and we might actually come up with something for Assault after all. I also want to talk about some other GDW games in the future. That's Game Designers Workshop, not Games Workshop. So
Right.
don't get excited. Um, but
No, I am excited because it's not Games Workshop.
people hear what Jim's working with a games designer, a Games Workshop system. No.
Yeah.
But they came out with the first Team Yankee game, like a year after the game, or maybe even the same year the game was the novel was published, 1988. Of course, everyone knows about Team Yankee by Battlefront.
Right.
There's been a great Team Yankee game running around since 1988. It's part of their first battle series. It's a little bit more like entry level, a little bit more accessible. If I can get a hard copy of that. From somebody who has an old set in this garage somewhere, then hey, we may actually feature that on the channel as well. So stay tuned for that as well.
Oh
Nice.
yeah, we'll have to keep an eye out and see if we can find some. Hey, Bill just sent a message. Says, hey, you guys all may be starting without us. This event is dragging. We might be starting without you.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. So
I promise you, we're
Yeah.
starting without
What was
you.
that message?
yeah, it just popped up.
Yeah,
Oh.
All right. So real quick for everybody out there, for everybody who wants to see a picture of Marty, and you do, with his hair all frizzed out and everything, you need to ask him to post it on SitRep Podcast Facebook.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, I could 100% do that.
It's gonna scare the hell out of y'all, all y'all.
Well, that depends on which one. Because one will scare you, and the other one's gonna make you laugh.
The one that you did in
But
3D. I don't know which was scarier, the fact that it moved, or the fact that you look like you did.
yeah, it was
Quick
good time.
quick PSA for all the parents. This might be a good time to have your small children leave the room.
No, it's fine.
Right?
It's not that bad.
Don't worry, Chris. They're gonna come back. They're gonna come back.
His
So
daughter paid good money to get rid of him.
I made her pay twice too. She donated online, and then I made the lady that was collecting
Yeah,
cash at the event go hit her up again.
yep. And it's for a great cause. Everybody pulled through. Last I heard,
Yep,
they're over 50,000.
yep. Over $50,000 raised at just our event.
Isn't the link already in our Skype?
Yep,
Yeah.
that's my reply.
Oh boy.
I mean,
Sorry, everyone. You're getting a real look behind the curtain here as we.
Yeah.
that's all right.
It's how the sausage is made.
Yeah, nothing like having the production meeting while we're having the podcast.
Yeah.
All right, good times, good times. So, it looks like our fearless leader will be joining us at some time. So we need to get ahead of the power curve on this guy.
Yep.
But
Just think you can mute him.
yeah, that's right. I'm running it.
Aren't you the host this time? Yeah.
I am. I didn't even think about. Like, oh, had enough of your crap. Boink.
What's going on, Rasmus?
Yeah, Raz.
And where's Fred at? We haven't seen Fred in a while.
Oh, Fred is always here, always close by. Oh, hold on. Where's my camera at? There we go.
The electric horror who always watches from the dark.
That's right.
Well, we got that idea from Fred on the 7 Mile Bridge.
Yeah, that's what he's named after. So Dawn had said some crap on a live stream about an Ent. She wanted an Ent, and I happen to have one of these 58-cent Timu trees over here, and well, googly eyes make everything better. So you want an Ent? Here you go.
Yep.
There's your
absolutely.
All right, boys
and girls.
Should we attempt some news?
We should.
I mean, I can talk the news that I can do. Let me go ahead and get this set up. However, again, be gentle because I got to try and do some screen sharing here, and I don't know how well this is gonna work out.
It's gonna look better than your picture.
We're all gonna figure it out here in a second. So let me get that up. All right, here.
Hey Jim, doesn't Marty look like he's an old 8-bit video camera?
The focus on his current feed, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully this looks better then. All right.
Yep.
So I don't know if you can. How do I make that big? I don't know. No.
Control up arrow.
You might have to either close out.
Oh wait! Hold on. I missed the opportunity.
Hold on.
That's what she said.
Oh, yeah. That's not bad, right? Is that okay? Better?
That's great.
All right, good deal. All right, so our first little bit of news, just a little bit of industry news here from Miniature Market. Apparently, they've been bought out and have new owners. Let's see here. This is from a press release that they had on. When did they do this? On the 13th there. So according to them, Miniature Market, a prominent figure in the tabletop gaming community, thrilled to announce a significant development in its journey as it prepares to welcome seasoned industry veterans as its new owners. With a wealth of experience and expertise in the tabletop gaming sector, Christophe Arnaud and Maud Decombe? I don't know. I'm trying. I swear to God. Are poised to lead Miniature Market in a new area of growth and customer excellence. They have extensive knowledge and passion for gaming, which makes them a perfect fit to guide Miniature Market towards continued success.
Yeah, the site uses cookies for personalized site experience. By continuing to use and browse this site, you do agree to the policy.
Ah, yes. Good times, good times. All right. Also, for those of you that
Click OK.
click OK on what? I don't see it. Oh, hold on. I got to pull that up on the regular one.
Click
Where are we
OK
at?
to import virus.
Yeah, there you
There
go.
we go. All right. Fully imported. So, so they talk about they're all excited and they have a deep understanding of the industry. And Christoph's been around forever. He's got 30 years in the industry. And I love how they I love how they open up Maud's description. Maud's career is a lot like a mullet. 10 years of board game industry experience in the front and a love for board gaming and fun in the back. So she's excited. And then this is the rest of their executive team. So Christina is their VP of strategic sourcing and customer experience. Malachi is their VP of operational excellence, and Anthony is their accounting manager. So that's the team. Although I do have to say I got a little bit of beef. If you notice down here, it asks what their favorite game is, and this guy said Monopoly. I mean, does he just like flipping tables and punching his family members? Because that's how Monopoly always ends up.
Okay, and then hold on a second. Game piece color. Last I looked, the game pieces were metal tokens. Yes.
Yeah, well, maybe it's not to that game. I don't know.
Yeah.
But we're excited to hear that they are under new management, so to speak, and they also have a little something going on. So if you are a GW person, turns out Games Workshop has a bunch of GW stuff, and they have a promotion going on. Let me see if I can pull that up. I think I got it. Come on, go. There we go. So you're not. I'll tell you now. I don't think you're going to get any good deal off of this. I think it's regular kind of retail prices. But if you're a miniature market shopper, so you buy a lot of stuff from there, instead of getting 1 point per dollar or whatever it is, now you're going to get 10 points, and 10 times the points. So that goes through Monday. If you're interested, like I said, take a look at this. It's about the going rate. Some are a little reduced there, but you can find most of these deals on the interwebs or at your local game stores. But if you want the points, that's where you get them until Monday. You got to log in to get them. Make sure that you do that if you're looking to do that. All right, moving on.
Excuse me, I'm not trying to look at my phone, but I have to send Bill the link from Skype.
Okay. All right, where are we at here? Moving on. We're gonna take a look. Let's get over here, and we're gonna go look at Spectre Miniatures. They dumped a bunch of stuff into their STL files. So if you're looking to 3D print your own stuff, these are all STLs. But they've got their local forces squads, the squad, the covert guys, the heist crew. They got your criminals, your SWAT dudes. So a bunch of these are new additions. They've had stuff on here before, but they've got a pretty good selection of things on here. If you're into 3D printing, check it out. Got a little scenery in here as well. A little scattered terrain, so to speak. So that kind of caught my eye that they had increased the content of their STL stuff so much.
So
Very nice.
AT4, a law, and a javelin there, or
and a Barrett's 50 cal. It looks like.
Yeah, they've got a bunch of stuff. All right, it looks like our fearless leader is attempting to join. I don't see any video. I'm gonna give him a second. Maybe he needs to sort himself out. All right, where are we? Spectre Miniatures. Oh, moving on. Here we go. I'm gonna do some stuff from Firelock. So Firelock's got a bunch of things going on.
Yep.
First one is Blood and Crown. So all of this stuff is available for pre-order.
You know it's a Firelock game when it's got blood in the title.
Well, yeah, it's blood,
Is that
and
wrong?
everything, right?
No, I'm just saying. It's
Right.
That's not
blood and
true.
something. The new
Oak and
game-
Iron.
Eh,
All right. All right. But Oak and Iron versus Blood and Plunder. Just saying.
Oh no,
Oak and
I
Iron,
agree with
10
you.
times out of 10.
But the
Oak and
one
Iron, 10
game,
times out of 10.
the one game I do own of theirs is Oak and Iron. So I have to,
All right. So our fearless leader is in the waiting room. He says no video. He's driving. So here we go. All right, sit rep 6. Are you in? Over.
Hola, ¿qué pasa? ¿Dónde está?
Sounds like it.
Well,
Yep.
bien, and we are in the news, my man. In the news, going down the list.
Apologies,
So,
apologies. We had a community event for our town. We have Irish Days. It's like a big deal here in Middle Tennessee, and like 30,000 people show up. And of course, we bought the largest table at the banquet, and they wouldn't let me leave because we were front and center.
Well, and the town is called Erin. Erin. Are you
Right?
going to get much more Irish than that?
yeah. So you're 30,000 people. What? That was 100 times your population, isn't it?
Well, the whole county is 8,000 people, so do the math.
Yeah. I said there'd be
Yep.
no map.
Right?
Right.
All right, so we'll take a quick pause on the news since you're able to join us. Maybe you can share with us if you were able to get any hobbying done since our last show, my friend. What have you been doing in the hobby world?
Well, since the last show, I'm trying to think what I did.
What did you buy?
I bought a whole bunch of shirt printing stuff so we can make custom T-shirts and glassware and all kinds of stuff. So we can have some stuff for Adepticon. I don't remember if I revealed that I painted that warlord of Napoleonic's British commander from the set, and I posted some pictures.
Yep.
Yeah, so I've been looking at a lot of stuff, a lot of news. As far as talking to people in the industry, we can talk about, when we get to Adepticon stuff. But
Yes. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on. So we'll get through this, and then we will get to that, sir. Also, no, we'll save it for Adepticon stuff because it's Adepticon related. So, anywho, all right, back to the news, you people. Not you're getting off easy. All right, where are we at here? All right, so not only do they have let's get that one back up. Come here. Don't worry, I'll figure this out. So not only do we have Blood and Crowns available for pre-order, so you can see they got all of their jazz. They already have some of their other stuff. Excuse me, as far as miniatures available. But the important part, how do I play the game? The rule book still on pre-order. So if you are interested in that era, 100 Years War era, go ahead and check that out. If you're at Adepticon, I am sure they are going to be showcasing that. Check that out there as well.
Yep. Don't they have a new ship too?
But, hold on. This isn't the only thing they've got. They've also released for Blood and Plunder, which we were just talking about a second ago, Barco Luengo. So this is a bark that is two-masted. It's a little bigger than the other one because I have the original bark. But again, shallow draft kind of thing. It is got better armament than a regular bark. So if you're playing Blood and Plunder, check that guy out. Also,
Is there some noise in the mic from?
is
Bill.
that Bill?
Yep.
it's following me on the road. I apologize.
Bill, damn you!
Well, I can't help it. I'm driving in the car.
Ugh,
You guys
crying
have
out loud.
You guys ever do much gaming or reading in 100 Years' War?
No.
I've never done any in that era.
Yep.
That's Edward III, the Black Prince of Wales, our boy Henry V.
Yep.
So if you ever wonder where the Band of Brothers speech comes from, the St. Crispin's Day speech at the Battle
Yep.
of Agincourt, he who was marked to die, let us not to do our country loss, the fewer men, the greater share of honor. Yeah, that's 100 Years' War, October 1415. Goes through Joan of Arc. So, if you're into that, yeah, it's not really 100 Years' War. It's a series of wars that last like 116 years, something like that. But yeah, it's pretty much Britain or not Britain, it wasn't Britain in those days, England and France going to the mat. Um, and for like several generations, it was a pretty big deal. France technically wins that war, believe it or not.
Last
Yeah.
time.
Well, the French with their warfare, they kind of run hot and cold. Although I gotta get a lot of people give them a bad rap about World War II. That's not their fault. I'm gonna tell you that now. And their resistance was something to be admired.
Yes.
I made this point before. I'll make it quickly again. The reason that the French have a pretty bad reputation in World War II is all, I hate to say it, I might piss some people off here, that's all Great Britain's fault.
Well,
The British wrote the first generation of histories out of World War II, starting with Winston Churchill in 1945. How you can write a history of a war that ended earlier that year is quite beyond me, but Winston Churchill thought he could do it.
he took copious notes.
Yeah, he took copious notes, but the facts aren't done yet. I mean, he'll tell you that he'll tell you that World War II started in September 1939 and killed 50 million people.
Let's not cloud the issue with the facts. That's not what his
let's
book's
not cloud
about.
the issue with the facts. But in particular with the French, you've got the history of that campaign that the French get all the shit about, pretty much the conquest of France in May and June of 1940. It ends at Dunkirk because it's all told from the British perspective. That's when the British, ran away. That was the halftime show. That was case yellow. Then came case red. That was the second big German offensive. Dunkirk was the halftime show. And the French wound up losing 92,000 killed in that 6-week offensive. You don't lose 92,000 people not 92,000 casualties, 92,000 dead by giving up and running away.
Yeah, that's not a chicken shit move there. They stood and delivered.
They tried, but by the time they entered that second half, they were so badly outflanked and out of position, they didn't stand any hope, which in some ways makes their defense even more heroic. When you can't win and you still put in that kind of defense, it was still hopeless. I'm not trying to say that they were some kind of brilliant force. And as they were kind of getting it put to them by the Germans, and if you read German accounts like Guderian's book, when he talks about the second half of that war, the Battle of Juneville, 10 June 1940. Yeah, when a corps commander is operating a 47 millimeter anti-tank gun by himself, the situation's getting a little desperate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Put about 40 rounds into a Char B tank, couldn't knock it out, and meanwhile his half track is 200 meters behind him, screaming for him, "Sir, Colonel General, sir, please, dear God, get back in the friggin' half track." But meanwhile, 6 French divisions are pretty much kicking the teeth into half the Italian army on the southern front. There's a whole southern front where you got to remember part of the French border is with Italy, down in the south part of the Mediterranean, and those people got nowhere. The Italians. So yeah, I agree. The French performance in World War II is definitely a mixed bag, and it deserves a little bit more credit than it tends to get.
Yeah, and I can tell you that from personal experience, serving with French soldiers, particularly in Afghanistan, I've on a couple of occasions, stand-up guys, and they are there to do the deed. They are professional soldiers. They're well trained. They're well armed, and they certainly have no issue mixing it up and taking it to the enemy.
That was generally a French thing in the Cold War, post-war period, because they knew they had this cloud kind of hanging over them. And they still lost a lot of wars. They lost in Algeria in 1962, of course. We know they lost in French Indochina in 1954, Dien Bien Phu and all that. But good God, man.
Who didn't?
Yeah.
we can't exactly sling too much fun on that issue.
Yeah,
Um,
and can't
but yeah,
flex on them there.
the French will, the individual French soldiers in those conflicts, they'd come out of the jungle with a necklace full of ears or whatever. They did not give two shits, man. They were,
They were
yeah,
tough dudes.
Yep.
they
Yep.
were in
Hey,
there.
Marty, didn't
You know,
you serve with French Foreign Legion as well?
Sort of. I was at. There were some of them in Kandahar when I was there. I didn't do anything directly with them, other than try to eat chow and sneak into their little group, be like, "Hey, what's up, buddy?" So the
Yeah.
Foreign Legion. I've heard stories. Yeah,
Yeah.
they didn't want to
They're,
talk about it.
they're not one to trifle with either, right?
Not from what I understand. According to what happened in their ops reports and their sit reps, yeah, I don't think I'd mess with them.
Lebanon, they
All right.
formed the extreme left wing of Desert Storm way back in '91 with six light,
Yep.
I think six light armored or whatever that division was. Yeah,
All right. Well, now we're going to throw it back to Blackbeard versus Maynard. Again, Blood and Plunder. I bring this up because it is a 2-player starter set. I've got it. I believe Bill's got this one as well. And that one, that is a good deal. And 2, it's a good set. So if you've ever been interested in Blood and Plunder, $99, you get the giant, and it is a giant box. You get 2 boats and 2 starter armies, navies, whatever. Two sets of dudes to fight each other. It's a hefty box. And I say that because they're going to have them at Adepticon. If you go to Adepticon and you buy this while they still have them in stock for $99, be prepared to walk that straight to your room or your car, because you are not going to want to walk around the gaming hall or around the exhibitor hall with this thing, because it's a beast. It's not going to fit in your backpack.
Now, if you want, you could put it in my car.
I mean, yeah.
Just saying.
I could always use a couple more sloops, so hey,
Yeah, right.
feel free to drop them off over at the Sit Rep podcast booth. You'll see us in the mahogany room.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. We got a couple more here. All right, here we go. A little bit of Warhammer for you. So, Jim, we're not totally ignoring GW because
that's fine. It's all
because
good.
well, Chris and I are playing Age of Sigmar, and Age of Sigmar 4th edition's about to come out.
Yep.
And as it says,
Supposedly.
a storm is brewing.
I have my anti GW juice right here. I'm all set.
All right, so
But
let's see if this
we will
plays.
definitely find out more on the 20th. That's for sure.
There we go.
Don't play the video; it's not going to work. It looks like a slideshow, Marty. Just hit stop.
Sigmar lied.
Yes. So all sorts of stuff going on there. So let's see. We don't know what Sigmar lied about, but if you look at the lore, turns out maybe he's not the most forthright guy in doing business. As he's trying to restore order to the realms.
Yeah, what leader is?
As the God King.
Yeah.
So there's that. But it's very interesting that you see little rat eyes, a little rat run across in the back of that street.
Yep.
So we're pretty sure that the first kit that's going to come out is going to be Stormcast, of course, with Skaven, which is awesome because the 2 armies that I have are Stormcast and Skaven.
Oh, shit.
What's that, Bill?
You're coming in. Oh, no.
Oh, he must be down in a holler.
Yeah, we're losing you, Bill. We can't make out anything you're saying, buddy. But exciting stuff. Look for more during our Adepticon coverage, because the Age of Sigmar is specifically part of the GW preview that will be going on Wednesday night, and we will be there. So we're very excited to see what's going to happen there.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to be able to broadcast from there, but we'll definitely try to take notes.
But we'll be able to get into the hall, see what's going on, and then give you a full report afterwards.
Now, this is a disclaimer. Marty and I cannot be held for understanding most of that stuff. I mean, most of it we don't know. We
Yeah,
don't know about the lores. We don't know about all the different games and everything else and all the armies. But
yeah, we've
we'll
been
try
doing
our
this for
best.
like 2 months, so but
Yeah.
we
Well,
we can certainly tell you what seems exciting and when people screamed when stuff got mentioned. So
yeah.
got that going for us.
Yeah, we'll
All
try.
right,
That's all I can say.
all right. One final bit here. All right, so I was not familiar with pen and swords, but as I was perusing the interwebs, turns out they've got a bunch of kick-ass books. And hold on a second here.
I bet you Jim has read every one of the books up there.
Maybe. No, but here we go. So wargaming books offer original sets of rules and supporting scenario books across a wide range of periods, plus more general books on various aspects of the hobby, such as modeling, painting miniatures, and making terrain. They're all commissioned and written by wargamers for wargamers. So whether you're a veteran or a recruit to this fun and fascinating and increasingly popular hobby, there's sure to be something for you. Also available as ebooks. So instead of paying what is that, £23? Yeah, it's like $4.99 as an ebook. So if you're
Nice.
interested in that, check out Pen and Sword books. So that's pen-and-sword.co.uk. If you want to go to their webpage, it looks they've got a bunch of them too. So if you're looking for something specific like a rule set or whatever, or if you're just looking for some inspiration on how to paint some things, or if you're looking to learn how to make some, they've got a little something for everybody here.
Or some historical information on how to build your lists.
Yes.
Or design your scenarios.
And I have
We're driving a big bus.
I can't believe I missed this. So hold on, let me see if I can add.
Spitfire and Mustang looks interesting. I saw one earlier about Stalin's Falcons. Look pretty interesting.
Yep. So my final bit. I almost passed this up because I didn't prep the link. See, that's what happens when you have a rookie doing this. But I'm glad that I remember Plastic Soldier Company Battle Group Rulebook. The interesting thing about this is it's now print on demand, and it'll be shipped from your home country. So you don't have to worry about like something being shipped from the UK and then all the crazy taxes and whatever goes on there.
Customs.
Yeah, I don't understand any of that stuff, and now I don't care because it'll be printed here in my case, be printed in the U.S. and then delivered to me. So you gotta like that.
Yeah.
And the basic rule book there is already up and running. It's a new
look at
version
Jim.
of the rule book with look at that.
I got about 12 of their books. That's the basic rule book. This is Fall of the Right, which is for late war. So you will need the basic rule book, and then you can't play the game with just the basic rule book. You will need at least one of the campaign books, whichever part of the war that you're most interested in. I've got about like 7 or 8 of them. I don't know if the print and the pay to print or the print on demand, those aren't hardcover. Those are going to be soft cover, right? Or are we not sure?
It doesn't say. I'm going to bet that that's a soft cover.
Yeah,
I've got some that are soft covers, but either way, guys, just for our audience, the quality on these books is absolutely like porn star level awesome. They are gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous books. Just from a physical, whether or not you like the system or not, I love the system. It's my favorite World War II miniature system, and just the physical quality of the book is just spectacular.
Nice,
Very nice.
very nice. So, to your point, Jim, then the core rule book comes with the mini Normandy campaign in it already.
Oh, okay.
And then it's got a couple of lists in there as well for Canadian and looks like 12th SS in there.
Yeah, they've got different lists for every because the system is too rich to try and put all the vehicles in or all the lists in one book. It would be like the book would literally be that thick.
Yeah, it's gonna say it'll end up being like a set of encyclopedias.
But what
But
we've got this here is one of what because it's probably a soft cover, like you said. This is what their soft cover books look like, and yeah, even their soft cover books are the interior is the same. The only difference is that it's not hardcover, but they're
right,
still fantastic books.
Yeah.
and so in addition to the rule book itself, Stalingrad book should be out next week, and it'll be followed by Blitzkrieg, Pacific, and Westwall. Bagration will be coming out once the pre-orders have been fulfilled. Then it will go to print on demand as well. So, they've got a bunch of additional scenarios, as well as all the army lists and whatnot that come in. If that's something that you're interested in, check it out. I think it's going to be a great way to be able to finally get that stuff without having to go through the hassle of transporting it, getting it all shipped and taxes and blah 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 blah
Yeah,
blah.
I've got the Blitzkrieg book. I've got the Normandy book. Don't have believe it or not, I don't have the Pacific one yet.
Well, then you have to get it.
There you go.
And Marty, what's nice for you is, it's be a lot easier just buying it than having to try to print it at work.
Yeah, right. Especially since our color printer's messed up.
I wonder why.
Well, it's not because of me, but I prove it every time because I forget, and then I'm trying to print off 197 pages double-sided, and it just keeps wrapping around that drum. It's no. Then I gotta fish all that paper out of there. It's not good. It's not good.
No. No.
All right. Did we lose Bill, or is he just
We
turned
did.
off?
We lost Bill.
Oh no. Let's see. Let's see.
Oh, maybe he's back.
Bill, are
Welcome
you with
back,
us?
Bill.
Hello.
There we go, buddy.
Hey.
A little bit.
Hey.
Yeah, sorry, I'm traveling through the wilds of Tennessee, and the cell reception's pretty bad.
Yep. Well,
Yeah, you get down in their hollers, and it just gets all bad.
Yep, that's for sure.
Watch
that'll
out for
happen.
the swamp fox, or not swamp fox, the skunk ape. It's more of a Florida thing.
Got to watch out for Mothman out there, right?
Yeah, thank you. That's the correct. That's the correct cryptid for that area.
Yeah, I do this
I
thing
thought
for
it was
you.
more for West Virginia.
Well, that's where the original sighting was from. But Mothman has made the rounds.
Yeah, he's been
Close
seen
for
here
that
in
one. I was in
Joliet.
Florida.
I mean, all right.
So,
That's it.
topic of the day.
Now we're. Oh my lord, Bill, that's loud.
Sorry, man. I don't know
All
how to reduce it. Oh, you know what? Marty, reduce my gain. You know.
We're lucky we were able to throw up a graphic.
Yeah. Reduce my gain. There we go. All right. So I think that's probably a little better. Yeah.
Okay.
Very
That's
good,
all
Marty. I'm impressed.
I don't look like much, but every now and then I pull it off. I don't know.
Yep. So we've got a few short days
You might
before
want to reduce
Adepticon.
Chris's gain too.
I'll just move the mic away.
Or I'll just mute him, and then it won't
Yeah,
matter.
there you go. We got a few short days before Adepticon.
Yeah. So the road to Adepticon, all sorts of good stuff coming up. So first things first. Yes.
Well, why don't we start off
have
with,
a present.
we'll have our own.
We'll have our own what, Bill?
We're going to have a booth
We'll have
there
our
in the historical hall.
Yep. In
We'll
the
have a
mahogany
booth
room.
in the historical hall. Correct.
Of the
So
Hyatt.
come by and see us. We'll have special edition cups to give away to our subscribers. Might have some other goodies. We'll see. But yeah, come check out the new booth. Let us know what you think.
I was gonna say you won't be able to miss this new convention booth. Bill really went to town on this thing, so I'm excited to see it in person here shortly. in a mere
And then from there,
5 days.
Wednesday night. Well, we set up Wednesday night, then go to the Warhammer open event,
Review,
or
yep.
we have the review, and then Thursday starts Adepticon full swing. So it'll be Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Don and I will be leaving early on Sunday to get back to Tennessee, unfortunately. So Chris and Marty will take up the slack from there when they're able to, and then
Yep.
we will plan the next adventure. Unfortunately, we will not be at Little Wars this year.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, we
okay.
have
It's
a
for a
team
good
building-
cause.
We have a team building exercise that weekend, so
Yeah. There
Yeah.
you go. That's what it is. Yeah.
It's for a great cause too.
yeah.
It's a sit rep retreat, sort of.
Yeah. Kinda, sorta.
Hey, can we write this off then?
God, I wish.
Right.
But
Sit Rep
yeah,
is
way to
having
go.
a
We got-
team building event, and I'm just now hearing about it now.
No,
you
and
know
it's in
about
your
it.
state.
Oh, you're aware of it.
I see how it is. No, I
It's in your.
wasn't.
You're
No, I
aware.
wasn't. I wasn't
You
aware
know-
of shit.
No, Jim, you know there's that train now that take you from Miami to Orlando in less than 3 hours.
I get to Orlando anyway. My dad lives in New Smyrna Beach. Now that I've doxed
Oh,
him.
okay.
I'm just kidding. I don't want to
Dox him.
New Smyrna
It's
Beach
not
is
like you
down-
handed out his
It's
GPS
60,000
coordinate.
people. Good luck.
Yes, we are going down there for Dawn's 50th birthday, so she wanted
29th.
to do
29th.
okay.
It's the
29th.
Yep.
21st anniversary of her 29th birthday.
Yeah.
Right.
So Jen was asking, have you practiced assembling that thing? That can be
Yes.
like a tunic cube.
We did practice, and I showed proof because I set it up in our living room. It's huge.
That's
But
what she said.
But it's actually the assembly is not terrible. So, and we
Oh, that's
took
good.
Yeah, and then we took the preemptive action of marking the separate pieces so we don't get the pieces combined because they're numbered identically. So that way, hopefully, it'll be pretty easy to set it up. So
Okay.
Gotcha. Did you get the monitor setup figured out on that thing?
I did. I just have to. I couldn't mount the TV per se. When we put it up, I do have the holes drilled into the mount. So all we have to do is mount the TV onto it. It'll take a couple minutes. It's a standard TV wall mount.
Cool.
You're not
All right.
just going to be showing op centers, or was that just your example in the picture?
No. We'll be showing op centers when we don't have anything going live, but we'll show like interviews, anything we're live streaming will be shown on there too.
We're going to have Marty falling off of a chair in a loop.
Because I can send out I can send a playlist of some of our better stuff or some of my
If you
better
want
stuff.
Yeah.
Because some of those op centers are like back when we were just starting out, and the audio is not the best.
I think they're pretty good, but you do what you feel you want to do. And then I'm looking for the life size cutout of Jim, so we can put it next to the screen.
Oh yeah.
If it's
So
life
like
size,
with
you're gonna have to get if it's life size, you're gonna have to get another booth to set up next to your booth that you've already got. But
All right, people.
Come
you're
on.
exaggerating.
Oh, wait. Better yet, we can have it behind the booth like he's looking over.
Oh, like Kilroy. He'd be doing one.
Yeah,
like he's
absolutely.
peeking around the corner.
Yeah.
Like,
no, I'll fold my arms in like a disapproving glare, like you guys call this history, like some shit like that.
oh, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great idea for a T-shirt.
Actually,
No,
That is actually
no.
a good idea for a T-shirt. We can do a long
No.
story short T-shirt and you call that a history T-shirt? Yes.
Yeah, right.
All right, good
What
idea.
book did you read that in?
I saw
well,
it. In
it was Churchill's book. Why?
Well,
Again, let's not call the
I
issue
saw
a
the
fact.
Patriot. It's got to be real.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I
right.
saw it on YouTube. It's got to be real.
100%. Good times, good
People,
times.
All right,
people
so
who think
down
that. Go ahead.
No, sorry, Jim. Go ahead. Finish your thought.
No, go ahead. I was just gonna make a joke. Go ahead.
So we'll have the booth. Like I said, we'll have some giveaways. We'll be roving about covering not only the historical hall, but the other halls. One of the things we're going to be talking to is Ronnie Renton from Mantic as he previews Halo, the miniatures game. And this
Nice.
is miniature skirmish, not like miniature battles that help me. What was the company that put out the Halo game years ago?
Microsoft.
No, it was a miniatures-based game. They also did Dystopian Wars, and I just can't not remember their name right now. But anyways, this is supposed to be in 28 to 32 millimeter, I think is what the miniatures are going to be. People were complaining about the sneak preview video that it was Spartan versus Spartan, and that was just to show off what they could show off at that point. It was not the actual game. So I need people to slow the roll and wait for actual reveals, before you go all ballistic about it. We'll catch up with our friend Patrick Keith, who does a lot of sculpting for mini companies, and he actually sculpted the Adepticon Mini this year.
Nice.
And he does a lot for Reaper Miniatures and some of the other. You know his work. If you've pretty much played
That's
any
right.
miniatures games, somewhere you've probably crossed one of his miniatures.
Very
All right,
nice.
Bill.
Go ahead.
War Cradle Studios.
Yes. No, War Cradle Studios took it over from the original company.
Oh. I don't know who the original company was. War Cradle was the one I was going for. That's because that's who's got it now. I don't know who did it originally.
IP now, but there was a company, and maybe somebody in the comments will shout out. I remember talking to guys; they were really nice guys, and they had a great IP. And I honestly feel it was another Kickstarter IP too big for what they could handle, and it just kind of crushed them. So,
Well, that'll happen.
There's another big news item that happened today. I don't know if you covered this or not, Marty. Ninja Division filed bankruptcy today. Ninja Division,
what?
Soda Pop Miniatures. Ninja Division filed for, I think it's Chapter 11, liquidation. Our friend John Candace was one of the owners. Nice guy, but again, I'm not sure what happened. He did several successful Kickstarters that did not get the full production. As a matter of fact, there's a couple that we backed that we still have not gotten 7-8 years later. But,
got in over his head.
7 or 8 years.
Yeah, 7 or 8 years.
Don't count on seeing those.
No, they've been written off.
Yeah.
I look at Kickstarter as a form of gambling. Like going to Vegas. Here's what I'm going to be able to spend, and if I lose it, I lose it. It's not going to hurt me, financially. So to me,
when I gamble, I just plan on losing it all because I do.
Good call.
But that's Kickstarter. It's not a pre-order system unless you're CMON. But
you're not wrong.
But,
yep.
Yeah. So Ninja Division filed Chapter 11. So unfortunately, I think anybody who's owed anything is out. Anything.
Oh yes.
Their liabilities way, way, way overextend their assets. They're talking 10 million in debt and assets of maybe somewhere between $0 and $10,000. So.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah. So there's that.
Yeah.
Also, another news item.
Spartan Games.
Thank you, Spartan Games.
That's Rasmus.
Another news item that popped up today. Now I totally forgot it. I was talking this. Let me see remember what it is. Oh,
don't wreck your car.
Big names in. I'm not. Two big names in Asmodee corporate level have supposedly removed themselves from Asmodee and have taken over operations and management of miniatures market.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yep, that was our first news item.
Okay,
was it?
Okay, all right.
Miniature Market put out a news release 2 days ago on that.
What was the first guy's name?
Christoph and Maud.
Yeah, Christoph and Maud.
They were both pretty high up in the hierarchy of Asmodee, and they left that supposedly to take over Miniatures Market. Now, there is in backroom talk that they truly didn't leave Asmodee. They still have a relationship, and that Asmodee is positioning themselves to kind of
By
corner distribution market, with Miniatures Market, because Miniatures Market had a tremendous success during COVID. Tremendous.
well, yeah,
Yeah.
Their sales figures were through the roof. So it could be a ploy by Asmodee to position themselves to have
think,
a major retailer / distributor of their own here in
uh,
the United
uh,
States.
I was gonna say, you think that's the next takeover for Asmodee?
Yeah. Well played.
It's very possible. We'll have to wait and
Yeah.
see.
But as long as they
So,
don't start limiting other people's stuff out there.
well, yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how that happens. But Asmodee is famous for acquiring companies and then selling them off later down the road. Um, so it'll be
Well, yeah,
interesting to
after
see.
they've sucked all the assets out of them.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, those are some of the biggest news I found that came across my phone today. But yeah, there's a lot of movement this time of the year with Gamma just finishing up.
Yep.
Was it last week? I think it was, in Adepticon. And then you also have GaryCon going on. Why
Hey,
they do this every year, I don't know. But GaryCon schedules the same week as
they,
Adepticon.
yeah. So oddly enough,
What's Bill saying?
I've spoken to some of the guys that are uh,
Scheduling conflicts.
kind of high up at GaryCon, and they're married to that date for some reason.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's just right and ritual, to be honest.
Is it
Yeah.
Gary's birthday or something?
But
It is.
Oh,
I think it's around his birthday, if I'm not mistaken.
but they recognize that there's the conflict, and they've chosen to do it that way anyway, because if you move it either way, you still run into stuff. It's just different stuff. But I don't know that I would
Yeah.
put it up against
Well, and the
Adepticon,
other thing is,
especially being local to
well, the other
Adepticon.
thing is that, well, the other thing is that they're an RPG convention, not miniatures based. However, WizKids is going to have a huge booth this year at GaryCon with their D&D
Oh, okay.
miniatures and stuff.
Well, they should. I was gonna say that's a
Yeah.
market for them.
Yeah. And
Well,
there's,
100%
and
makes
if I
sense.
could throw out another piece of news, I do not know if they're going to be at Adepticon, but there is another company out there that makes plastic terrain called Archon. I think it's Archon Studios, if I'm not mistaken. They now have a set of pre-colored terrain pieces that you assemble. They're painted in a special machine, so they run the sprues through this machine after they scan artist samples, and it paints in
And it just
some kind of and they come out. They're very scratch resistant. You can't you have to really try to remove the coloring. I saw a video on it the other day. So if you're looking for pre-colored terrain, some of the stuff is really good. Some of it could use some, spiffing up. But it's a great place to start. So it'll be interesting to see if they're there.
That's Archeon, you said?
Yeah.
Let's see what we got here. Whoa, I don't want a map quest to them.
But it'll be interesting to see historical, because Team Yankee's got a presence. Obviously, Battlefront, Flames of War has a presence. What doesn't have a presence? And Jim, you might have talked to Pierce, or I'm not sure if you have or not. But the World War III game that they brought out from Plastic Soda Company. What was the name of that game, Jim?
North Ag, and with a Centag expansion.
Yeah, I've seen nothing of that, and I don't even think it's on the Plastic Soldier Company website anymore. So I don't know if that just kind of died out, or I haven't talked.
Last I heard, there was a Centag expansion, so they were at least trying to keep it going. It's just in kind of a weird scale. You have to play you don't have to, but you kind of have to play the game in 10mm or smaller.
Yeah.
Because of the size of the forces involved. Cold War.
Aren't they in 12 mil? I think they were in 12 mil, weren't they?
I think it was 10.
Was it 10? Actual 10? Okay, I couldn't remember.
It was either 10 or maybe it was like heroic 10 or something, but it was a smaller scale than a lot of people are used to. Games like 7 Days to the River Rhine kind of stepped into. They're like, look, everyone's buying 15 mil Cold War stuff because of Team Yankee, so let's go ahead and jump in on that. And if you look at the 7 Days to the River Rhine rulebook, you'll see that all the photos in that book are of Battlefront miniatures. So I don't know if there was some kind of co-opetition going on there between the two companies, Great Escape Games and Battlefront Miniatures, but you know, it was basically like, look, here's one more game that you can buy Battlefront miniatures for.
Yeah.
With Battlefront, with North Hag or Centag expansion, you need like a 20-foot table to play that in 15 mil because you play on like the operational maneuver group scale, and that it's a big game because it's Cold War. Cold War is not skirmish. You can't do Cold War and skirmish. Cold War gone hot. That was a war that everybody was preparing for 40 years, and if God forbid it ever had kicked off, nobody's unprepared for that war. Trust me, it would have cost the human race about $1 trillion a day. And those like in 1980s numbers, it would have been an
That was real money, yeah.
Even if it wasn't, even if it never went nuclear, it would have been beyond incredible. That's why books like Red Storm Rising get on my nerves. Tom Clancy is a little overrated in my book. The war lasts 36 days. I'm sorry, what alternate timeline of the MCU multiverse are you living in? Whereas most
the
people
fact that they were already low on oil,
right?
Yeah,
and they ran out of oil,
and the sheer lethality of the battlefield in 1980. Your armies are dead by the end of the third day. There's literally nobody left. That's why you see better writers like Ralph Peters, the guy who came out with Team Yankee. Guys who were actually in charge at the time. Coyle. You got guys who were actually in charge at the time. I can't remember his name now. The guy who wrote the universe in which Team Yankee takes place. I'm totally spacing. Sir John Hackett. He was actually commander of North Hag forces, or I think of NATO forces in the late 70s. And guys like Ralph Peters. The war ends midway through the third day. So the point is, I got a bit of a tangent there. I apologize. The point is that you need big armies to play North Hag or Centag, and in 10 millimeter, a scale that nobody kind of has already sitting on the shelf. I don't know if that kind of played into it or whatever. I thought they were still around.
Yeah, I haven't seen much for it. I didn't know if you had speaking to peers lately, because I know you were communicating with them a while on some battle group stuff, and I had talked to him about North Hag, but I just unfortunately have lost touch with them.
We had him on the show once, like 2 years ago or something. Maybe it was more than 2 years ago, but we had him on the show once. Pierce, who was one of the, I don't know if he was one of the writers, but he was definitely one of the playtesters at least for North Hag.
Yeah. It's interesting that you don't really see anything on it though.
That's a shame, because it's basically Battle Group in the 1980s, and I freaking love Battle Group. But Battle Group is mostly a good game for a smaller battle. Maybe they lost something there in the trans. I don't know. I'm completely speculating.
Oh, let's see.
Well,
let's go to the webpage and see what they
while
say.
you're looking that up, what else, Bill, do you have going on for Adepticon? I'm sorry. I know you've got a number of interviews. Can you reveal any of your potential interviewees? Hello, is this thing on?
He's still there.
Have we lost Bill again?
Perhaps.
Hello, can you hear me?
Well, they still have North Hag on the webpage. There we go.
Yeah, I didn't think it had gone anywhere.
Yeah, so they've got the rule set. They got a bunch of models available. They've got a bunch of vehicles, infantry stuff. They've got the rule book, British, Russian starter army set still. So it's still hanging out there.
Yeah.
Still here. They've got the Centag rule book that is published now. It's 23
That's the
pounds.
one I need to get, because that's what I was waiting for. Centag would be German 3rd Corps, American 5th and 7th Corps. That's going to be, no offense to the British, but that's going to be the fun stuff. Especially the year in which they chose to run the book. Games like Assault and games like Team Yankee choose 1985. This one goes back to 1983. So you're still talking about M60 A3s versus T64s, stuff like that.
Yeah, so that Centag just just released. You
Okay,
know,
so I wasn't.
yeah, here's the comment on the webpage. Just off the printer, so it will be released 17 March. It's the
Oh,
15th today.
2 days from now.
Yep.
But
All right,
take
I don't feel
advantage of
bad
the
for missing it then. Cool,
yeah,
thank you.
it says take advantage of the pre-order weekend, get 10% off this product and accompanying new 10 millimeter Centeg miniature releases. If you
What
order
company
the
is that?
Plastic Soldier Company,
Plastic
Are
Soldier Company was kind of bought by Iron Fist Publishing. I still call them Iron Fist Publishing, but it's Plastic Soldier Company.
well, I was gonna say if you're looking for them on the interwebs, call them Plastic Soldier
Yeah.
Company. That'll get you there.
are they going to be at Adepticon?
No, not that I know
Okay.
of.
It's a tiny company, and they're over in Ireland somewhere, I think.
Yeah, but let's see. It says if you order the great
Oh yeah.
value starter bundle deal with Centag, you also get a free M577 command post vehicle. So
Gotta have your TOC.
if you want the ugliest track ever designed, you know, go ahead. Yeah. Let
Yep.
me hang 4 antennas off this and look like a giant box. That's good. That's not going to be a target at all.
Well, you're
No,
supposed
not
to
at
be
all.
6 or 7 kilometers behind the FOB, so or
Yeah,
behind the forward line of contact.
yeah.
The
I'm just saying. Yeah, you know which
TOCs
one the
are
boss is in.
TOCs are at least battalion command, if not brigade. So that's supposed to be a
And
ways back.
all right. So it was the 90s when I did it, but we ran a pair of 577s as our talk and jump talk at the company level.
yeah.
Company.
Uh-huh.
It depends on the unit. Yep.
Third ID, 11th
That's
Engineer
supposed to be your
Battalion.
66 track, but okay.
Let's see here.
I mean, I'm not gonna believe you, but
Includes our new army list for U.S., West Germans, Dutch, Canadian, Danish, Warsaw Pact, East Germans, Poles, and Czechs, Soviet naval infantry, and Soviet airborne, plus a new airborne assault scenario.
nice.
Oops. Oh, wait a minute. Here we go. Our fearless commander, Sitrep 6.
Finally get home.
Welcome
Yeah.
to the show, sir.
Can't hear him.
Can't hear you, bud.
Nope.
No.
I think I'm
Un
watching.
momento, por favor.
I am so happy. I'm not that guy. I'm a dumbass on running this shit, but all my technology works so far tonight.
Can you hear me?
There
Yes.
we go.
Yep.
Yes.
Hey.
All right. Good deal.
So I heard Suntag is actually not released yet.
2
And
days.
yeah, on March 17th, but you can buy it now.
Okay.
You know, and they've got like 10% off sale if you buy miniatures or some shit. So yeah, it's alive and well. Well,
Yep.
I don't know how well it is, but it's alive, and there's a bunch of
Battle-
stuff on their webpage for it.
Plastic Soldier Company / Iron Fist Publishing / Battle Group or Centag, Northag, whatever you want to call it, is always going to be fighting an uphill battle because it's up. How do I put this politely?
Uphill.
It's up against a more entry level game that has a broader engagement model.
All right, fair
Is
enough.
that a nicer way of putting it? It's
yeah.
up against a dumber game for dumber people. That was the Oriskany version.
Oh, come on. You were okay. I was good with the first part, but the second
Yeah.
part,
Sorry.
it doesn't make them dumb people.
No, it makes
I
them
gotta
beginners.
play something somehow, Jim. I feel
Yeah,
attacked.
it's for beginners, Jim.
I'm not into beginners. There's your next T-shirt.
Yeah, that's what she said.
I'm not into beginners.
Oh yeah, good times, good times.
I'm trying to figure out how to play Assault virtually. Trust me, I'm up against some
Oh
challenges.
boy, you did a throwback there, Jim.
Yeah, and wow, did that hit?
Yeah.
Not only with the response to the video, but with some of the comments and such, led me to a much bigger community than I thought. I thought I was reviewing kind of a fossil. That's a fossil that is still got some meat on the bones. Let me
It's
tell you,
almost like squad leader or advanced
squad leader or
that kind of fandom.
squad leader, panzer leader, or just to be fair, some Battlefleet Gothic. Battlefleet Gothic's been out of date since when?
Yeah.
When was that game in print? 1980, whenever. And that community's still keeping it alive. If it's a good game, the fans will keep it going. They'll find a way.
Well, here you go, Jim. I mean, if they still got meat on the bones, look at the woolly mammoth. They're finding meat in Siberia that they're gonna try to clone a new one.
There's a one guy. He's got to be a veteran. I don't know who's built this website. You can tell his counters are made in like Windows, Microsoft Paint 3.1, like back in 1994. But the numbers are all right, and his orders of battle are right. This is the kind of game where you can't just say, "Oh, I've got 12 Panthers, 6 Tigers, and some Grenadier Infantry." No, I've got Able Company, 1st Battalion, 2nd Armored Cavalry Regiment. This is what they have. This is 1st Platoon, 2nd Platoon, 3rd Platoon, Headquarters Section. All the pieces are serialized, but they're not serialized by numbers. They're serialized by platoons, companies, battalions, regiments, brigades.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got orders of battle built out for God bless how many units. So yeah, the game is still experiencing a fandom afterlife, if that's the right phrase.
Yeah.
So I was really surprised to hear about that. Great news.
I love it when one of the out of print games, something that's not being supported anymore, and the community's like, nope, it's our game now. Here we
There you go.
Yep.
I mean, it always amazes me, and I can't speak to people's
It doesn't take
specific
much to amaze you.
circumstances that were behind the game. Because like if you're a little mom and pop shop, you're a one man show. Maybe you're just tired and you just can't do it anymore, or
Mhm.
life gets in the way, or you have a major illness or some other life event. You just can't do it. Steamforge giving up Guild Ball. You're a bunch of raging dumbasses. That's why they're coming back to it.
Tell us how you really feel about that one, Marty.
I kind of like Guild Ball, and like everything
See,
else, I've only
I'm not
played
the
it by
only one with
myself.
a hot take on this stream, so you guys can.
Oh, I think we all have that one game or system that we all want to.
I mean, I'm gonna drop that one hard. That was such a bonehead move from the get go, and
Yeah.
now, so I kind of mocked them for coming back, but it's
Wouldn't
a good
you?
move for them. Come back. They're not producing anything, but they're supporting the game, so
Mhm.
they're getting back into it, and there's a good chance that they're going to fully support it again, because they've realized the error of their ways. This community's not going to let it go. So, they may as well start trying to build the community and selling them some stuff.
And who are we to judge? We've all made stupid moves.
Nope, never. I don't know what you're talking about. No.
Well,
We've known each other long enough that we could all say stuff.
I can't even say that with a straight face.
Yeah.
One of the things also, if you think about, just like Steamforge re-examining Guild Ball and with the hopes of coming back into it, there is a pretty robust fan base community with Guild Ball. And some of them feel like Steamforge let it go. It's ours now. Get out of it.
Yep.
But we'll see. I mean, they still own the IP, so they have every right to do whatever they want.
Yep.
But here's another thing. I was watching an industry news thing last night, and somebody made an excellent point. You guys all know the game X-Wing, right?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so it's based on what was that war
Star
game
Wars.
where it's World War I biplanes, right? It was the same system. I can't remember. I apologize if anybody knows. Wings of Power or something like that.
Wings of Glory.
Wings of War. Wings of War.
Wings of War. Okay.
Well, so X-Wing was based off of that. And when X-Wing 1.0 came out, huge audience. I mean, if at Adepticon we had championships, right, Dawn? We had like nationals there. And I mean, where the hall is, where 40K was, you had 40K and everything GW. Then you had the vendor area. And then on the other side, you had all of Fantasy Flight at that time. Now Asmodee.
Right.
With X-Wing and then Armada and what was that other game?
Legion.
Not Legions. Yeah, Legion came later. But what was the tile game? Imperial Assault.
Imperial Assault.
X-Wing had table after table after table. Then, for whatever reason, Fantasy Flight, Asmodee, decided they needed to upgrade to Rules 2.0.
Yeah.
And when Rules 2.0 came out, you had to buy conversion kits for all of your miniatures, you know, and
Oh,
some
there's
people
one
had
kit that would,
hundreds of ships
yeah.
because they would do these mass Starfleet battles, right? And you would have, it's almost like the GW conundrum.
Those
You know,
ships were not cheap either.
no, I mean,
No.
they were very
They're
reasonable
still not.
price for pre-assembled painted ships, right, Chris?
I've got a
Yeah.
couple of them.
reasonable.
Yeah.
Oh,
For
very
somebody who
reasonable.
does not like to paint and all that, it puts you right on the table. You're in the game literally that night as soon as
It's
you
true.
buy
Yeah,
them.
you dump it out of the box, you can play.
Yeah,
Yep.
so it drove a lot of people away. And X-Wing now, one of the guys was saying he go to his any local game store, and there'd be 10 tables worth of X-Wing going on. Now he's lucky to find one table of X-Wing, if at all. And most of them are playing Rules 1.0.
They're still playing 1, yeah.
Yeah, because somebody decided we need to make more money. And what's the better way to make more money is we release a new rule book in GW's case, 3 years. They are on a 3-year cycle. And then you have to have new models. Or you change the base from circular to square, you know, or 20 millimeter to 25 millimeter. You do just enough that people have to buy new stuff. And I think Fantasy Flight miscalculated the X-Wing audience versus GW audience. GW people will throw money at that game no matter what happens. Let's be honest. People will bitch about it, and you will have your fanboys that will throw money. I have purchased the old world sets because I like that look. You guys have gotten into Sigmar. I have Legion Imperialis, which is epic because I like micro scale games.
Which we should play sometime. That seems cool.
It does. I got to finish painting them, but you know,
do that.
Thank you, Rasmus. Hey, Rasmus, are you going to be at Adepticon this year? Because I'm going to I might have a special cooler full of adult soda pop. Just throwing it out there, buddy. Oh, I don't have my Guinness. I have Guinness. I just don't have it with me. But
come on, guys. This is Friday night.
Fireball, Jim?
No, Jim Beam.
Fireball.
Fireball. That's my dad's. That's my dad's drink. I'm sticking with Jim.
Are you kidding? You said I was about to make a comment that's what the kids drink, and you said your dad drinks it.
Yeah, I mean, don't even.
But so here's something to think about. You know, I know it's kind of getting off the topic of Adepticon, but can you the rest of you think of a game system outside of what the two we've talked about, X-Wing and Guild Ball?
Remove your hand from the camera.
Sorry, I'm Italian. I can't help it. You know.
I know.
That rules change. Surprise, Marty. That
so be right back.
Has totally screwed up the game and lost its momentum. You know, people just stopped playing it.
Yeah.
Not from top down, but from ground up. I've seen that happen a few times.
Yeah.
BattleTech. I mean, BattleTech never completely went away, but BattleTech sort of outgrew itself. That's not really the same thing, though. So.
I mean, but it's come back. You know,
they're having. I can't remember how many tables.
It's come back because Catalyst Game Labs has reintroduced a new simplified set, and they're like, this is the new set that people can get into. Yeah. Back in the 80s and 90s, it was almost the reverse of what you're talking about, where I guess I'm just trying to say that it can happen both ways.
Yeah.
Everyone hates it when the company comes down from above and says, here's new rules, go buy a whole bunch of new stuff. And then you got other games like BattleTech that says, hey, look, here's a it was never a relatively simple system, but here's at least a workable system. But there are rules in here where you can design and modify your own mechs. And the community grabbed that. And just to kind of spread the blame around a little bit, the community ran away with that. And it got to the point where it was virtually unplayable for new players. Because every time you went to a club and people were playing BattleTech, you were up against multiple year veterans who had the Excel spreadsheets it took to build their own mech and, absolutely tweak, I'm going to remove this system, this weapon system that isn't very useful and put in an additional heat sink. Yeah. And I was guilty of this too. And you get this absolute killer machine that's worth like 3,000 points in that game, and you wipe the floor with it. And then players are like, first of all, I don't understand what the hell's going on because the community has made the game too complicated. And number two, I can't win. I mean, I step on the battlefield and I get my head blown off from
it's still
20 hexes away.
Games still have to be fun for the newbies.
Yes,
and that was probably one of the biggest downfalls of BattleTech back in the day. Is you had, because I can remember getting into it. My brother and I got a set from a local. I want to say it was from a bookstore in the mall, that it sold games as well. And we picked up a set because it looked cool. And I'm looking at the sheets with the diagrams of the mechs, and you've got all those points of
Those little
damage.
bubbles.
And,
Yeah.
and
So much
you're like, you have to
bookkeeping,
figure out your heat sinks. And
There's not a lot of bookkeeping, but anyway, go ahead.
yeah. So, I mean, and then you look at some of the books, the extra rule books you could get, and it's like, Jesus, this is complicated, for high school kids looking to get into this. My brother was a freshman in high school. I was a senior at the time, and it was just. But we played it. But I'll be honest with you, we probably didn't follow the rules very well, and we just went at it, and we would. Oh, you hit me. Let's roll a dice. This is where I got hit.
They're literally taking them and.
And then we mark off
that's
damage.
that's how BattleTech is supposed to be. And if you're up against other people who are just coming into the game, and you've got other people that are just coming into the game, you're going to have a blast because you're going to be playing with the core rule set. The problem is they give you the opportunity. But it's not really a problem because Darkstar does the same thing. It gives you the opportunity to upgrade your mechs, build your own mechs, change your own stuff, and before it's then, to Marty's earlier point, then the bookkeeping comes in.
Mm-hmm.
But the base game is literally just you have a sheet and you put it in a pocket protector and you just fill in little bubbles, and then when you run out of points on your arm falls off. It's fine,
Yeah. But speaking of Catalyst, have you guys seen they're going to have a BattleTech simulator?
Oh, they'll have the battle pods there. They have them at Gen Con every year.
They've had those for 20 years. Yeah, those.
Yeah,
I'm sure they're improved. But
they have not been to Adepticon yet.
No, this is the first year for Adepticon, so people will get to experience that if you've not experienced it. It's really cool. You get locked into a pod, and it's it's VR essentially.
It's technically more of a Mech Warrior experience, but
it is.
Yeah, that's just the division of the license.
Is it VR or is it AR?
It's more like simulation VR. I don't know how to really explain it. You get into it, you got the controls. You can control your mech and where you move. It's just a stand-up video game essentially.
Yeah,
I think I love about BattleTech is it's
more like augmented reality kind of thing. You've got a physical thing, but then your environment is all.
Yeah, it's just like a helicopter simulator at Fort Rucker or at Eustis or Pennsylvania, one of those places. But
is it as good as really Battlezone? Nothing is
as
good as Battlezone.
Well, nobody beats Battlezone. Come on. But if you want to get into depth and detail, Battlezone unfortunately kind of falls flat.
But still, it's the original.
The OG. It's the OG. But unfortunately, in some aspects, you age. Sometimes you don't age very well.
Battlezone is the OG of BattleTech. I don't know if that's.
I was gonna say who you tell.
No, not BattleTech, but the OG of battle combat simulator type games. Tank games.
The thing I love about BattleTech is it was an unabashedly 80s game.
Yes.
They knew what they were doing, because one of the big things in BattleTech is you have to manage your heat.
Mm-hmm.
So your your battle mech is always overheating, especially when you fire your weapons and use your rules. And that just gave them an excuse in the artwork to draw their female mech pilots like, damn, it's hot as hell in here. I'm gonna go ahead and they're down to their bra and panties strapped into this mech with plasma pulse cannons, and fucking hell, that shit's awesome. It's they totally not fly today. But back in the 80s,
it would fly because they're still 12-year-old kids.
There you go.
Dust mercenary, the mercenaries, all females.
Yeah, I definitely remember some of that artwork.
I've got it right there.
Yep.
As well as a squad of their mercenaries.
Yeah. So Bill, I think you were just pulling into the garage when I had asked you this question, and I don't know if you had heard me. I know you're doing interviews this upcoming week at Adepticon.
We got Ronnie.
Is there any that you're going to be able to share at this time?
I'm looking at the producer, and she's not answering, so I'm going to go with no. We'll catch up with a lot of our usual people. Yep. Unfortunately, we've kind of lost our good contact at GW, Andy Smiley. I don't know what he's doing these days, but he was a great person that we worked with at GW when here's the thing about GW, and I'm not going to bash GW, but kind of is
I'm not
they
going to
go in
bash
these
them, but I'm going to bash
cycles.
them.
They go in these cycles. What was it? 5 years ago, Love, roughly? They opened up, right? They're like, yeah, come on, let's sit down. We'll talk. We'll
Yeah,
chat. We'll
right.
show you
Yeah.
things.
And then
Now all of a sudden they've reversed, and it's back to the way it was 10 years ago, where they're like, nope, this is the way it is. We're controlling it. There's nothing. Bam, I'm
did you talk
surprised
to
they're
our
still doing the
public?
preview night,
Did you
the
talk to our
Warhammer
public
review night.
affairs person, because none of our staff can speak to you unless that person has
Right.
approved it.
Well, we got
Yeah.
shot down at the first year that GW came to
It's like they're running a real
Gen Con, right? Was
military.
it? We walked in. First of all, they didn't show up the first 2 days because their visas got denied by the United States
Oops. Probably
because they had to have work
Yeah.
permits, right? Because they
That's-
were coming to work a booth.
Can't-
'Cause they're
Can't
all from
understand how
Great
that
Britain.
happened.
So
Yeah.
they finally show up, and we go to meet with one of their booth managers, site managers, whatever his name was, and they're like, "No, we can't talk to you." Mm-mm.
Yeah.
No. You
Probably
have
some
to go through
TSA guy who was
so-and-so, and,
pissed at how much money his kid spent on
A bunch
you
of
know,
tourists.
so-
40K.
And then you have
Are you
companies like
responsible for
Mantic with Ronnie who will pretty much tell you everything. There are literally people that stand by Ronnie and going, "Ronnie, shut up. Stop talking."
Do you see his last video? That's kind of what somebody should have been doing.
Right?
Yeah.
So
Well, I do know
Same
that
time,
we always
though,
talk to
Dear
John.
God, a gaming company that engages with its community, that's totally based on engagement. We're not selling microprocessors here, guys. We're
Yeah.
not building nuclear reactors. We're building war games.
Yeah.
If you're a dick, no one's gonna buy your friggin'
Hey.
war game.
Yeah, people will
Yeah,
still buy
they
your
still
game.
buy 40K.
But do you remember the movie War Game? It
Yes.
was nuclear.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Huh?
remember that game.
Yeah.
So
So,
So
yeah,
we do
I
always
Not
talk
play
to
it.
John from
Warlord, yep.
Yep.
John
Warlord.
Russell.
John Russell.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
There's a
we-
great example. There's another like genre leading, dominant, top down kind of a company that proves that just because you're at the top of the hill, I mean, Warlord. I'm no fan of Dolt Action or Blunt Action or whatever you want to call it, but the company, I've met them. I met Charlie over in Ireland. They're great guys,
They
and
are.
I still, I mean, spoiler alert, you're going to see me build some Bolt Action miniatures on Sunday. I wasn't going to reveal that, but now you guys know.
Yeah.
I mean, they're a great company and they make great miniatures. I mean,
Yeah.
just because you're at the top of the hill doesn't mean you've got to be
Prima donna.
Yeah,
insert whatever anatomical
Well,
reference you
they're-
want to.
They're good people and they have a
Yep.
passion for the game and
Yeah.
gamers.
and
You
I
know,
do have to
John
say,
and Ogre and the rest of the crew.
Yeah.
I mean,
absolutely.
they're
And I
they're a
do have
riot
to
to
say,
be around.
if you're going to be talking to John, you have to go top down because he's always in a kilt.
Oh, okay.
Not always, just Saturday. Saturday's
Well,
kill
no,
day.
he's
Well,
He's
the other
in a-
thing is, Warlord, if you think about it, Ronnie used to work for GW back in the day. A lot of the guys that started Warlord were associated with, they came from GW to create their own companies.
Uh-huh.
So they kind of said, you know what, I'm going to take what works and then I'm going to do it my own way. And I'm going to take what doesn't work, like, engaging the community. And,
Right.
Warlord, whether you like the game or not, is a fun game to play just if you take it at its face value.
I'll
If
say
you
this
take it at
much
its
in
face
defense of
value.
Bolt Action, and I've said this before. I think if you play Bolt Action as it was intended,
Mhm.
it's a great game. I think part of why Bolt Action has the reputation it does is, I like to blame the community. Is sometimes the community's fault because there's lots of Bolt Action players who will say, "I've got 1,000 points. I'm going to go ahead and buy 3 King Tigers," and that's their army. That's not what Bolt Action is supposed to be an infantry game. I think if you talk to the designers, you're going to find it, especially when they went into their Korea, and I think they were talking about a Vietnam expansion.
Yep.
It's an infantry-based game, and if you
Yes,
stick with
it really
that,
is.
it really is not nearly as bad as I think a lot of guys like me who like big crunchy games with huge charts and whatever stuff like that. We like to look down on Bolt Action. I think it's really the community, and it's like too much freedom in the list, but at the same time, they don't make money selling books. They make money selling miniatures, so they want to
Right.
sell all those miniatures.
Yep.
So
Right.
I get it.
And,
I get
yeah,
it.
and the thing is, the guy who's going to come in with only 3 tanks, right, and just really upset the game, hey, you know what? You might have trouble finding someone to play in the future
That's
because
true. I mean,
Well,
his list is
well,
legal. Also, he's going to get his ass kicked because
it,
despite all of its shortcomings, there are some realistic elements in bolt action.
yeah,
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
and the other
You've
almost
thing
got King
is,
every
Tigers.
game has got people who are going to take it to the extreme and make it not fun.
well,
I
I've
mean,
got
the
three
other
King
thing is
Tigers.
you've got to
You've got
remember.
3 King Tigers. I've got 3 guys with bazookas, and my bazooka gunners were a hell of a lot cheaper than your King
oh,
Tigers.
Right?
yeah,
yeah, and because they're infantry, those three bazooka gunners each have a platoon of dudes with them.
Also, you're on a 4-foot, 28 millimeter table. Your battlefield is the size of a Publix parking lot. It's 80 meters wide.
Yeah,
Do the math. I mean, come on.
yeah.
If a King Tiger is facing American infantry at 80 meters, somebody done screwed up already.
Hmm.
that-
But you got to remember, bolt action is based or designed for an audience that plays Warhammer 40K.
Yeah.
If you look at the rule set, it's very similar in a lot of the aspects. Like dice roll, you start at a 3 and you modify from a 3. So
When I built World War 2.5 for Beasts of War back in those days, I was like, look, most people play 40K. Let me make my game based on D6s, and you roll. The more power you have in a given attack, that's just more D6s.
yeah,
Because that's what the audience is. Let me go with that.
that's
yeah,
it.
it
Yeah,
just gives
and
you
you
a
know
quick
what?
and fun
Everybody's
way
got
to
a
play World
niche.
War II.
Yeah, everyone's going to have a niche. I mean, there's
Yep.
people who get into some war games that are based on a D20.
Yeah.
Well, and
You know,
one of the other things that they didn't take from GW and Warhammer is they don't change their rule set every 3 years to make you buy them
Exactly.
$10.
Yeah, I
and the
can't
book
remember
does
what
cost
edition
$90.
Bolt Action's on now. I think there may be third edition.
Is it third? I was gonna say I was gonna guess second. I don't know if they got a third out. Let's see.
Yeah, I honestly I have
Rasmus
not
is
kept
with
up
us.
recently.
Yep.
Rasmus is with us. Well, also,
Yeah.
the nature of the genre in which Warlord and or Bolt Action deals with, because Warlord doesn't just make Bolt Action, obviously, you guys know
No,
that,
Right.
yeah,
is a lot of historical stuff. If
They
I
have
make a
some good
game
stuff.
that all of a sudden I need a different 28 millimeter Shermans, guess what? I can buy that some bitch someplace else.
right.
Well,
You don't
what's
own the
nice,
Sherman. You don't own
eh,
the U.S. infantry. You don't own the Tiger.
yeah, and what's nice is they've even got stuff to where they're bringing in all their different games together. I forgot what it was called. We showed the book, but it was it was
Oh, where they
for a
did,
campaign
yeah.
where okay, this is going to be a beach assault, and so you're using ships at sea, or what is it,
Yeah,
Victory at Sea,
they have Cruel Seas, right?
Yeah,
Cruel-
they have
Cruel
yeah, and
Seas,
then
War at Sea.
yeah, I mean, if it's an air battle, then you're playing the plane game, and it's
Blood Red
nice.
Skies, I
And
think
Blood
it
Red
is.
Skies. Yeah.
and what's nice about it is if you didn't have it, you
They-
could still like play it with a tile or something.
Yeah, for
And
the game's called Combined Arms.
combine, yeah. But
Yeah.
it was nice because you actually didn't have to have any of them. I mean, granted, you're going to want them, but it reminded me of and this is the Wayback Machine. Remember Archon for the
Oh
Amiga,
yeah, I play it
where
still.
you're playing chess, right? And you move in to a spot. Well, you still have to do battle at that spot. So you
Yeah.
zoom in down to the battlefield and you do your
Multi-level
battle.
games you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was nice, and it's still a good concept. You
Yeah.
don't see that with a lot of these some of these
You running
games.
out, Jim?
I'm like halfway through this. Jim.
You
There
need
you
to
go.
chug that, Jim. Just chug it.
Yeah. Long story short.
Longer story short,
Yeah.
Long story short, 80 proof Jimmy. That's
Hey, Bill. They're still on second edition.
Okay,
there you
cool.
go.
But
And
yeah, they just come out with Ekpun Panza,
Achtung
which
Panzer.
I think is just, if I'm not mistaken, it's kind of like their tank battles, tank war.
well, they had
Yeah.
tanks. The name of the game was just Tanks,
Yeah,
which you
this
can
one's
play. Okay, go ahead.
post World War II. What if after World War II, Russia blew up, and now they have some goofy ass tanks I've never seen.
Everyone steals my ideas. I'm just kidding.
but they also had a weird War II thing going too, right? I forgot the name of
Yeah.
that.
Conflict 47.
That
It's
was
still
it,
around.
yeah.
Yeah,
No,
they're still
they
running that.
when we talked to the guy last year, We met the guy who is taking over the lead for that development team.
Yeah, for that IP. Yeah, and
Yeah, and
he was gonna lean hard into it. He said.
yeah.
So we'll see.
So we were told it was going to take a while for that stuff to get spun up, but they were looking at some good stuff, and
One of
it's going to be
these,
good.
sorry.
The other and before we go down a rabbit hole with each different person, I mentioned we're going to talk to John and crew from Warlord. I know we're going to be talking to Julian, right, from Enemy Spotted Studios.
Yep.
And I know there's some others that we're going to be talking to.
I'm
we
sure
always
we'll talk to the guys from Firelock.
Yep, we always talk to
Yeah,
Steve
Don,
Frack.
you reached out to them, didn't you?
Yes. What they said was they'll be there.
Yep.
Thanks, Mike.
So that's Mike. That's Rufus. That's Rufus.
Yep.
Rufus Kid's gonna be there.
Yep.
Yeah, we always talk to.
As far as I know, the whole crew is going.
So friendly, those guys.
Oh yeah,
they are not this. I've published more than you've read. I've forgotten more than you know.
They're down to earth.
Yeah, absolutely.
They actually came to our first backstage meetup at Gen Con when we held our very first one, and we hung out with them. Who else did we hang out with that was there? A couple of the game companies. It was Firelock guys and a couple other guys. And we had a great time. We just sat outside this pub and just hung out, and it was a great time. They're just very good, nice, down-to-earth guys.
Well, anytime you're hanging out,
we hung out at in 2019 Historicon. We hung out at this bar in not Philadelphia, down in Lancaster, until they closed, and then we're hanging out on the corner at like 4 a.m. I'm like, guys, we need to leave before people start giving us money.
Oh wait, no, give us money. We need it.
You gotta afford breakfast somehow.
Yeah. I mean,
look at these poor homeless people. We're not homeless. We're just war gamers. We're close. We're close.
Yeah, very close. We need help our habit of gray. But oh damn, I had a thought and it escaped me. But I know that's not a shock.
I don't know.
Well, Rasmus says if you want to make a good tournament game versus a good historical simulation, I don't know. Can you have both?
Tournament games have to be simple. I've run tournament games at tournaments. I've run tournament games at the club. One of our most successful games this past year was that Prokhorovka game. The rules fit on half a sheet of paper.
Mm-hmm.
And I literally called it Panzerpool because we had a 6-foot stick with all the rules on the stick, and you would measure almost like you were playing pool. You would find, put your tip where the tank is, and you would see where your tank was, and that range bracket told you the number to hit. And it looked like you were playing pool on an 8x4 table. Yep. We had something like 200 tanks on the table. We wrapped that game up in like 2 hours, 15 minutes.
That's a lot of tanks.
Yeah, all you need is a couple 810s.
Or a bunch of Panthers. Well, no Panthers at Prokhorovka. Tigers and Mark IVs versus a metric shit ton of T-34s and a regiment. Sorry, guys, I'm like halfway through the Jim Beam. A regiment of Su-152s. I'm going to say that again. Those who know. A regiment of Su-152s. They barely used them. That was one of the few disappointments of that game. But yeah, that was a tournament game. Super simple, super fast.
I'd rather still have a flight of 810s.
Yeah, but World War II, you gotta go with what you got.
In 1943, that's gonna cause a problem. You just destroyed the universe with your time-space contradiction.
Yeah.
With your time-space paradox.
Yeah, but I still like the 810.
So that's a Conflict 47 game.
Yeah. 810 is overrated. I said it because I've drunk too much. But 810 is a little overrated.
Yep.
Hey, it may be overrated, but it's still iconic.
Yes.
It's iconic, and it's our logo. I'll put it. Can I refine my statement?
There's that.
Yeah, there's that, Jim.
Can I refine my statement? The 18th gun is overrated.
No.
People always forget. Yeah, it is. It is. Go back to the original test data. I'm a numbers guy. Look at the data.
Yeah,
I think could barely kill an M47.
I just like the thought of you start with the gun and then you build the plane around it.
I mean, that is the right process. However, all the other ordnance that it carries is really its killing power.
The 65, the Maverick. Then again, 19 out of 20 vehicles that you run across on the battlefield are not tanks. They're trucks, they're APCs, they're IFEs, and that 30mm GAU-8, we're going to handle them some bitches just fine.
Yeah.
And
just fine.
and it makes the most memorable
Iconic sound.
noise ever.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
love
So
that.
the thing that I was going to say, if the thought snuck back in,
No one's
we're also
accusing you
going
of
to talk
thinking.
to. I know we're also going to talk to Steve Fratt and Jim. I wish you were up there because Steve's got a new game that he's working on.
Uh-huh.
Panzer Frat, I think Marty.
Yeah.
Panzerfaust?
No,
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 Panzer
no.
Pratt. His
No,
last
it's
name's
his
his
own.
Pratt.
last name
Play
is
on his
Fratt.
name,
His
Jim.
last name's
Oh.
Steve Fratt, or his
Oh, okay.
full name's
Mhm.
Steve Fratt. But so Steve is working on his own rule set, and he's got some fairly novel ideas on how to run it, and he's got a couple of other games that he's published,
Yeah,
and yeah, I'll be interested to see how he pulls it off.
and
It, it may look a
s-
lot like a Panzerpool because he too uses a measuring stick for his stuff.
yeah,
That was it was a simple game. Like we had like 6 players, 200 tanks on the table, and we didn't want to be there all day. And
yeah.
Prokhorovka, I mean, the biggest tank battle that's ever taken place in human history. You can't sit there and get that into a protractor and slide rule giant spreadsheet with 47 columns. No,
Yeah. Let's
it
not
ain't
do
gonna
that.
work.
But Jim, it'd be nice if you were up there sometime because you and Steve could sit down and talk in depth on it.
Well,
so
Bill, were
much.
you still serious about me joining some stuff virtually on like
Yeah.
the 23rd
Yeah,
or something? Okay.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, that would be epic. And by
Once
the
we
way,
can get,
Right.
that's my birthday.
logistically, it's just the
Yeah.
same as we're doing right now.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
The same software. We can do it off a tablet, PC, phone. So it's very easy to have those kind of conversations.
Well,
Yeah.
there's
So-
light at the end of the tunnel, and I don't have to work weekends. So if there's something you want to line up, just let me know in advance.
right.
And
Okay.
I'll be
Yeah,
there.
once we get a better idea on the flow and some people's availability, because a lot of people don't know their availability until the show's going.
I remember how that works.
Yeah.
And
so-
Jim-
Jim,
Okay.
you will
ahead.
actually meet someone who knows military history because Steve is a retired professor of military history.
Awesome.
Yeah. And while he's not a rivet counter, but he does believe in historical accuracy.
And
You
and
know,
he
so-
he can get into the weeds.
Yeah.
I'm of the opinion that we all. I don't want to say we hate river counters, but we all kind of roll our eyes at river counters.
Yep.
Because I think they're do the kids still say posers? Like they want to look like they know a lot
I
about
say it.
military history.
Yeah.
But once you get to a certain level of military history, you realize that the resolution, the data resolution starts to fuzz out.
Yeah, the fucking rivets don't count.
Yeah, when you're a
Yeah.
lieutenant colonel, you don't sit there and say, "Corporal, you put your fighting hole here. Lance corporal, you go." No, you're
Did you
you're
clean your weapon today?
Yeah.
yeah,
Or you
Yeah.
have the wrong road wheels on that tank.
a lieutenant colonel doesn't think about that.
No.
A colonel commanding a brigade doesn't think about that. A
Mhm.
brigadier general, a
He's got
major
a
general
s-
commanding a division doesn't think about that.
It's like,
No.
hey, are my tanks here? Are they ready? Move them over there and shoot the bad guy over here.
Yeah, they're looking at a massive front. So, and then you've got to trust the leaders below you.
Well, look at it at the end of the day. A game's supposed to be fun, and if somebody's
Yep.
going to pick on you because you have the wrong road wheels or the wrong pintle mount or whatever, then
Then don't look at my model of my A10 because, as it turns out, you could put it together 3 different ways, and I put it together one way with all
with
3.
everything.
Yeah,
A
this
lot of
thing will
times I
never
just say,
leave
"Wow."
the ground.
This thing could
You-
never fly. There's so much stuff hanging off of it.
This works 90% of the time. It doesn't always work, but it works 90% of the time. And we can, the 4 of us, we can all use this. That sounds like you're really knowledgeable about this subject matter. What branch did you serve in? Oh, that's right. Get the fuck away from my table,
Yeah.
civilian.
Or you could go, you know what? That's so interesting, and I think it would be a great conversation. You want to come on the podcast and we can talk about it on air?
Or show us how
Yeah,
show us how you do it at your table. Show us how you do it in your game that you've published. Oh, that's right, you haven't. I
know,
forgot.
that wasn't my experience when I operated that piece of equipment for a living.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
could you go into that more?
But you know
please,
what?
please tell
But
me
the
more
thing
about
is-
my army. Please
but
tell me
here-
more
here's
about my
the-
Marine Corps.
But here's the thing: we know enough about, or you guys know, as you know, pretty deep into a lot of that stuff. The rest of us, we're just trying to have fun. It's I don't
Mhm.
care if you're a rivet counter or whatever. Make it fun.
No, I
If
agree.
you're if
Yeah.
if you're gonna sit there and bitch about anything, okay, it's not fun anymore. If you
What?
don't like the color of paint that I've got on my minis, hell with you.
Yeah,
I'm here
get
to have
over it.
fun.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
I just came
it's
here to
also
push my
not
little dude
realistic.
across
I
the
mean,
table and blow shit up.
yeah,
it was a
right.
great meme. I wish I'd saved it. I'm sure I can find it somewhere on the internet when people bitch about like what shade of olive drab you used on your American infantry. The guy holds up like 15 socks from his
Yeah.
time in the service. They're like, which green are you looking at? Tell me.
I could
Yep.
do
If
that
you
right
know,
now
I was gonna
if you
say,
because
know,
I've
you
still got
know.
them all.
let me
If you
go
know,
to my
you
stock
know.
drawer now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You got about
absolutely.
18 different shades of green out of 18 socks. I
No,
have literally no socks that match.
I have one shade, sir. There's only one NSN paint printed on them.
NSN. Oh,
Yep,
I love it.
Uh,
NSNs.
yep,
You're
uh,
talking to a 3043 supply
uh,
admin and
yep.
logistics guy. I
that's
love
what
the
I'm saying.
NSN. The skew of
Yep.
the military.
Oh yeah, good times, good
Yep.
times.
Yep, Rasmus, you were there at the backstager meetup. He mentioned in the comments that he thought he was there, and I do remember
Oh,
him being
awesome.
there.
Yeah, because we
Any
at the,
meeting that's happening at a pub is good.
Well,
Well,
That's
especially
just
when
my
and
Rasmus is
opinion.
around, because Rasmus and I have drank around the world.
I was gonna say, and Rasmus is down for that,
Yeah.
which is why we were hoping you would make it to Adepticon, buddy. I mean, it'll be your 50th birthday. Saturday of Adepticon, the 23rd, is my 55th birthday. Woo woo! So
if you
we can celebrate.
if you want Rasmus to show up at your table, just promise you're not bringing Heinz. He'll know what I'm talking about.
The
You're
steak
not bringing
sauce.
Hein
Heinz,
gunships.
H-I-N-D-S.
I know.
Oh,
Come on. I was trying to bait
Not funny,
him.
Chris. Just not funny. You missed the mark.
I mean, but how about some of that? That work for
But
you?
I'm out. I'm out.
Nice.
Turns out,
Smithwick's.
all right.
I
I'm
only
sorry.
say
Hold
that
on.
because at the Team Yankee boot camp, Rasmus was
Hold on.
whipping my country ass up one side of that hall and down the other
There we go.
till I got my Heinz. Once I got my Heinz,
What'd you do with Chris?
He said Smith Wicks. I kicked him off.
He's out.
He's out. I'm not
He's
having
out.
that bullshit.
oh,
All right, Chris,
did
are
we
you
get,
Are you
indicate that
sorry,
you?
Chris?
Yes. Do you repent? Okay.
I do.
Back in.
I'm sorry.
All right. For
I was
fuck's
just trying to
sake.
trigger you, and it worked.
And it worked. Done and done.
Hey guys, by the way, I learned a new card game that we have to play at our Friday night get together.
Yeah.
Called Irish Poker.
He sounds drunk.
All
I
right.
mean,
You take 6 cards each, and you
You're
get yourself
already
whatever
cheating.
your favorite beverage is, tall, and you have to guess which color the card is. If you guess incorrectly, say it's a 7 of hearts, and you say it's spades or black, you
There's
have
only
to
2 colors.
take 7
Alright.
swallows, real swallows of your drink, and you have to get through your 6 cards.
So if it's a king,
you-
you have to take 13 swallows.
10 face
Oh,
cards.
it maxes out at 10. All right.
Yeah.
that means we're camping in your room.
I mean, yeah, I was gonna say either that or you got to pay for the Uber.
Right?
Or
Somebody's
we
got to
can,
watch the booth. We'll just leave you passed out at the booth.
yeah, I was
Oh,
gonna
been
say,
there, done that.
or we'll just go back over to the other side, find anything that's going on, sit down and go to sleep.
There you go.
There'll be people
Yep.
there all damn night.
Yep, absolutely.
It does not shut down. The gaming hall does, the formal games do, the exhibitor hall's locked up. I can guarantee you every hallway and nook and cranny is going to have some nerd playing a game.
Yep,
Or
it
painting.
does.
Yeah, or painting.
That's when
Yep.
it gets. I've never been to Adepticon, but at Historicon, that's when it got fun.
Oh,
It
about
does.
4. Yeah, about 4 in the morning. It's cray.
The unfortunate thing is because we have to work it, you don't really get to experience that as much,
Huh? That's why Marty and
Yeah.
I signed up for a lot of classes.
Yeah, the way to go, buddy fuckers.
So we can sleep.
Uh,
I mean,
at Historicon, that's why that part of the convention got fun. Is because Justin, God bless him, he had me and Jerry working until 9 o'clock at night when all the tables were all the official tables were closed, and I mean 6 in the morning till 9 at night. We were just pumping out content.
Yeah. I'm
Um,
and you know, just
it's
walking
fun
around.
going to a convention to work, but you do friggin' work. But then at 9 o'clock, it was like I walked up to that Saratoga table. God bless those guys, were fun. They lived like 15 miles from the Saratoga battlefield, and they found out that I was a Oriskany from at the time Beast of War, and then sitting on podcast. They were like, "Oh hell no, dude! You're sitting here playing at our table." They gave me command of Benedict Arnold's troops, but by then it was like 11:30 at night, and a lot of beer had been imbibed by that point, and
Mhm.
the game got. See, I told you. I told you. This is what I'm talking about.
Yep.
All right,
Just 4 cobras blowing out of the sky.
Marty
I
doesn't
just
know how to put it on the screen, so for both those people who can't see it, I still have hind mares.
We can see
That's
it.
not our. That's
Well, I
not
know
our
we
screen.
can see it, but we're in the
No, they can see it.
They can
Okay.
see
I
it.
was gonna say, everything that's next to us, they should be able to see.
Yep.
Then Bill,
Yeah,
what do
that-
you do when you
that's
click
our-
on it and
it's
you have
on-
it
on
show
live.
up on the
That's
Yep,
our live
it's on
display.
live. But yeah, you're right, Jim. You know, sometimes you get caught up. I don't know what we were doing one night. I think it was Adepticon. It was after I think wasn't it after the armies parade of armies? We hooked up with some guys, and look at you, Marty. Now you have to take it off.
Figured it out though.
Marty's in
Wow,
command.
look at this.
Huh?
Okay. And we ended up playing something, hanging out with some guys, and before you know it was like 3 a.m. And we're like, shit, And of course, we had to be up early because Ireland is 6-7 hours ahead of us, and there was stuff I had to talk to Lloyd and Warren about, so I had to be up during their hours. Well, literally,
you
they
already
were waking
were.
up when we were going to bed at 3.
You're
So-
seriously getting like 3 hours of sleep a night
Yeah.
if you're lucky.
And I tell you
And-
what, the
And Historicon is a 4-day event.
yeah,
Marty and I
Yeah,
also have to
the
drive
Yankee
the
boot
45
camp
minutes
was so
to an
much
hour.
fun. I mean, we had it's such a blast, such a blast. I remember being at the pub until wee hours of the morning. Rasmus and Commander Rob and Jim and Jen, and we just sit there until they kicked us out, essentially. So
Yeah.
it was
Then
good
some of
times.
us went to Commodore Rob's hotel room for his famous kebabs.
The
He will not
kebab
let you-
journey,
He will not let you go through a boot camp without some kebabs,
right? A kebab there is kind of like a gyro. It's not
which
stick
is
meat,
Oh,
but it's not
kind
the
of,
same. It's different, but that's the best way I can describe it.
it's not.
it's kind of like bar crawling. Like you're so drunk, somehow the food looks good.
Yeah.
It's like
Right.
you wake up in the morning, you're like, what did I eat? Like you go
Or
down
it's
the
when you
we've
wake
all
up,
been there.
you roll over and go, "What did I do?"
Yeah,
Yeah.
you wake up in the
Yeah.
morning, you're like, oh my god, you do the whole coyote trap thing.
Is it really waking up or is it coming to? I still don't know that one.
Regaining
Yeah.
consciousness.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you wake up to find out where you're at.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Oh, I always
Yeah.
made it home, but the thing is like, shit, I gotta be on camera in 20 minutes.
Yeah. For me, it was always the one part of my room that did not spin was under my waterbed, which was difficult to find. Underneath the
How do you get under
headboard.
your water bed?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
helmets don't
exactly.
have
I'm like-
better underneath.
You want to explain that one there, Coachies?
You had to crawl under the headboard of it because
Oh,
the
so you had a space
headboard-
between the base and the headboard.
Yeah, it was the only part of my room that did not spin.
Right.
That was
Oh,
after
Robert Salt
Robert!
is joining us. What's
There
going
we
on,
go.
sir?
The man, the myth, the legend from
Hey,
Table
so
Salt
we've got him
Gaming.
on. We've got him on, Marty.
Oh, hold on. All
I
right.
still need to try that
How
game.
do I invite
man.
guests?
Seriously.
Invite.
Robert, what is going on with the game?
And where can I buy it?
Is he
Modifius.
saving? Hello.
What is
Goodbye?
that? Oh, he's just saying goodbye. Or
He's
both
just
of them is
waving
waving
hello.
hello. I hope it's hello.
At least he's using all his.
Well, if he was going to goodbye, it'd probably be this.
No, it's Modifius has got it on pre-order, and it should be coming out early next month.
Yeah, I pre-ordered it. I mean, I backed you, brother, but I was like, man, are we getting a starter set or just a rule book? I was hoping we'd see a starter set.
Where are the official minis?
Physical copy is out this April.
And I hear you have a couple other games out there.
I still have to try Battle Space.
You do.
I do.
I
I
love-
honestly do.
I like that game a lot. But he's
Is it on War Game Vault or where do I go to buy that?
Yep.
Yes.
War
Well,
Game
Or
Vault.
Modifius.
well,
Well,
the
wait a
old
minute. Version 1 might be on
Version
Wargamer
1
Vault.
I was gonna say V1 might still be there, or else you got to go to Modifius to pre-order version 2, which is being released next month. Yeah, I was hoping for like the super deluxe box set. Yeah, we gotta. Wait a minute. Who's the? Oh God, who is it now? Greg's gone. Who's over at Modifius? That's gonna be at Adepticon.
I don't know. Well, I mean, Chris will be there. The owner.
Let's put him in a headlock. We're gonna make this a full-on set.
He's British. They don't take to those things. They don't take jokes like that. Sorry to any British fans.
We've been busting on the British on that.
Chris Birch.
Yeah,
he likes Dawn better anyways.
But
Well,
Dawn,
who doesn't?
Dawn needs to work her magic cards on him then, or whatever it is she does.
Yeah.
Lorcana his ass.
Hey, Marty, if too bad you couldn't get a
bring his
physical
A-game.
copy at Adepticon, because then if he was going to be there, you'd have him sign it.
Robert, you going to be at Adepticon this year?
Oh yeah, yeah. Robert, are you going to?
It'll be out. It'll be out before Adepticon.
He said physical copy is out this April.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I was like thinking Adepticon was April. I have so lost track of time.
Bro,
Sorry.
it's in like a week.
It is the
Sorry.
Ides of March.
Oh yeah, today's the Ides of March. Et tu, Brute?
Yeah.
Yep. It's not about stabbing. It's about getting together with your buddies and then.
Oh,
stabbing.
he's not going to be there.
Oh, Robert, that would have been awesome to get to hang out and compare notes, bullshit a little bit, maybe break bread and share a cocktail.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then another cocktail.
And another.
So let me ask the guys that are actually going, and anybody in the audience that might be going, what one thing are you going to be hunting for purchase right now? Do you have something you're kind of on your wish list, or your list of I want to get this?
I'm looking for monsters for my army. Preferably Neferata or Terrorgeist.
Come on, Robert. A plane ticket's not that expensive to Chicago. We're driving from Tennessee. I don't live in Illinois anymore.
Yeah, I'm driving from Aurora.
Shut up, Marty.
Every day.
It's like
30 minutes, Marty.
It's like 40, sir.
Oh, excuse me, 40 minutes.
And with the tolls? And with the gas up here?
Yeah, my truck only gets 10 miles to the gallon.
No, it's your fault you buying that truck.
Oh, you don't think I'm driving that there, do you? Can you imagine me trying to park that thing there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Yeah, you can park it on anything you want.
Yeah, well, yeah. I'm taking
which car are we taking?
I'm taking the company car. Thank you very much.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't.
You might need the truck the first day for all the swag.
True.
Well, we don't know what the swag is gonna be like. I don't know if it's gonna be tremendous like it has in the past, since they only have 2 offerings.
Well, what they said was that it's going to be between the premium stuff that they had and the VIG.
Yeah.
So it will be more, in my mind, it should be more than what I've gotten the past few years, because I've always gotten the premium badge.
Yeah.
I've never gotten the VIG, but I've seen those dudes walking out with literally a wagon.
If you ever want to see what's in a VIG bag, check out a couple of Dawn's old videos from Beast of War live from Adepticon, where she does unbaggings of VIG bags.
Yep. Or just see what we get. I'm sure Bill and Don will do an unbagging of the.
We will, because we did get the whatever pass. So.
And there's also going to be the ability to barter with stuff, because they're not all going to be identical.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's I like that. I think that's a good thing that they're not necessarily all the same.
Yeah. So for me, I'm gonna look. I'm trying really hard not to buy shit this year. I got enough stuff I've got to get done. I know I say that all the time, and Dawn's laughing in the background if you can't hear.
We hear her laughing in the background.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's Dawn laughing at me because
anybody
I
got a
say
bet
every
on the
year I'm not
over-under on
buying
this one?
anything.
That wasn't Dawn. That was Bill's wallet.
No, that was Will's wallet groaning in pain.
Right.
Oh dear God, help me!
Oh, I'm not buying anything this year.
Yeah, right.
But
Absolutely.
you know, depending on if there's like Pico guys there, I might look at some stuff for the Alamo, Little Bighorn.
Oh man.
Yeah, I mean,
You know, I do like those last stands.
Oh yeah.
yeah. You
Dan
know,
Ben Pew.
One-
Yep. Dan
you
Ben
know,
Pew.
one of the things that I've kind of been working on the past couple of months is trying to find good brushes that are affordable. I'm not
Artist
buying
Opus.
somebody.
No, he
I'm
said
not bu-
affordable.
I'm not buying somebody's $75 paintbrush because I can't put a $75 paint job on a mini. But the $3 paintbrush
Ain't cutting it anymore.
sometimes isn't cutting it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't. It's not like I need some giant set of them or whatever.
Don't
but
you have a whole bunch of games and gear brushes that we gave you? Or did you use through those?
I do, but I've wrecked a bunch of them because I did a bunch of painting.
There is another brush coming. What's the other brush coming that's going to be there, Dawn? Do you remember? There's going to be several
75
companies
always
with
has
brushes.
stuff.
So.
I was gonna say there'll be a dozen people there
Yeah.
selling brushes.
Scale
So
75 has theirs. You got Army Painter has theirs. GW's got all theirs.
Artist Opus will be there.
Oh
Brian
yeah,
Byron
my
will be
favorite
showing.
Kickstarter guys are going to have their shit there.
Yep.
You know the Kolinsky brushes and the Wolf Sable brushes or whatever the hell they are.
Yep.
Oh yeah. How'd that turn out for you?
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
But so speaking of minis, how's your mini doing, Marty? Your mini ready for? Don't you have a mini that you're?
Oh my.
I thought you were talking personal anatomy.
No.
Yeah, I was a little confused. So yeah, he's got a little basing left to do, but that's
very nice.
Very nice.
That's him.
All right, I am now the proud owner of Battlespace.
And Robert,
yes!
thank you.
I just bought it.
Jim, it sounds like we have to do some virtual playing.
Yeah, I mean,
we still have to do Contact Front.
Contact Front.
Yeah.
The point of Battlespace is that it's solitary.
Solo.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Contact Front. I've been talking to him, and he really wants to come on the show. So.
Well, yeah, let's have Carl on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely, Carl. You are.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to get that.
Am I? Okay, maybe I misunderstood. Battlespace did not require any cards, did it?
Yes.
Because there are no cards in this book.
It's at the end of the book, right?
It should be at the end of the book. It should be one of the pages of the book.
That is negative.
All right, so
Well,
here's the other answer. So Robert, I'm gonna do you a solid here, buddy. We're gonna talk about the community of Battlespace. If you go to the Battlespace Facebook page and you check the files, you will see all of the fan created shit, and I'm pretty sure all the cards are in there, as well as there's a whole new edition of like CIA type rules in there. There's a bunch of mods and all sorts of crazy stuff. So look in the files.
I just went to Wargamers Vault and I downloaded the rule book, and I don't see any cards in here. 6 enemy cards, 24 sit rep cards. It lists that there are cards, but I don't think they're included unless I passed them. I'm checking again.
They should be a page in the book.
I don't see them.
And if I remember,
not in the version I downloaded.
Well,
but that's okay. I'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Let's
If you only knew the guy who put it together.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I've got it open right in front of me.
I was gonna say, and turns out I might have him. Let's see here. Let's go to where is no, that's not what I'm looking for. Where is
South Carolina? Oh, I used to live there. Kings Bay, Paris Island.
Where's? Oh, I gotta go to not iCloud. I gotta go to that one. There we go.
I know
Now,
everybody in the everybody east of the Mississippi goes to Paris Island for recruit training, but with my luck, I wound up getting stationed there.
Did you see that?
Yep,
Jim?
DM me your email address. I will do so in Facebook, sir.
And Marty, you need
All right.
to pre-order the physical copy and ask for someone to autograph it for you.
let's see here. Hold on. Da.
Because the amount of requests we are getting for more Force on Force content off of that Mogadishu game and then off of the Fallujah game, I want to get some battle space in there as well.
All right. So if
Force on Force is not. I mean, I love the game. It's not easy to set up. That's like a solid 2 weeks of work.
I think
put
you
out
need
a
to go to
video
Vietnam
with
with that one, Jim.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah. Use the Vietnam supplement for Force on Force.
So, Jim, we've got all of that stuff in our little rules repository on OneDrive, so we can get you the cards.
Okay. Just
Or you
after
could
the
just
video,
DM,
you guys send me
Robert.
that link to that OneDrive because I asked for it before and I think it got lost in the shuffle.
Oh no!
We'll send
But
it
yeah,
to
it's in there. It's like Prego. It's in there.
Cool.
Yep.
All right, guys.
Anything else going on with Adepticon that we need to talk about?
Not that I can think of tonight. I mean, there's going to be a lot of movement in the next few days, and then when we get there and stuff. And for anybody out there in the interwebs, if there's anything you want us to check out or something new that you've heard about, we're happy to do that. Dawn puts together a whole bunch of pre-planning lists, and we kind of go through everybody that's going to be there and start planning days. I mean, Jim's familiar with how we pre-plan a convention, but so I probably won't be out on the floor too much because I'll be running the mothership, if you will, from the booth because we'll have to make sure everything's moderated. But we'll get through it, and So if you guys can make it to Adepticon, we'd love to see, especially Friday night at what time? 8:00? Does that sound right?
That's next weekend,
like
right? Yeah.
8:00 for a little meetup, have some drinks and stuff with us.
Yep.
So
you have to show us that you're a subscriber.
So are we just meeting up at the booth, or is there are we going to the bar out front?
No, we'll just meet at the booth. And we'll go from there. We'll see if anybody shows up, and if they do, we'll figure it out from there.
Cool.
It could just be us.
That'd be okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just us now.
Right?
Yeah.
And all of our fine friends and followers that have been...
We may just live stream the whole meetup and just watch us dumbasses drink and do stupid things. And play a stupid game.
Yeah. Start the over-under on when I fall off a chair.
You know what we could do? We could play, what's that game, the card game?
Cards Against Humanity?
Cards Against Humanity.
I've got the bigger, blacker box.
Yep.
I know we're all shocked.
Mm-hmm. That's what she said.
What?
All right, guys. I'm going to head out because I got to get up early to go to this parade tomorrow and set up a booth for the hospital. So.
All right. Well, we will wrap it up on that note. So, Bill, if you want to take us out with the outro.
Sure. I don't have the thing in front of me.
No. You just do the blah, blah, blah part.
Okay. Well, we want to thank you all for joining us on this special edition of the Sit Rep Podcast, a Friday night special edition as we go on to the road to Adepticon. Of course, we always want to thank Oriskany Jim, Marty for hosting tonight and doing a fine job. He didn't blow us up. And Chris, as always, for his comedic interludes. Nice bald head. You got a little shine there, buddy. But please check out Jim's content on Sunday as he's doing a little bolt action is what I understand.
Yeah, just building a little 28 millimeter stuff.
Nice. And then next week, of course, follow us the entire week, Wednesday night through Sunday morning, more than likely, for our trip to Adepticon. And we'll see who we run across. Usually we find Uncle Adam and Wargamer Girl's supposed to be there this year. And the guys from the company up in Mini Wargaming. up in Cuba. I was going to say Cuba, not Cuba, Canada, but they will be there as
It's
well.
close.
So thank you all for watching and hanging out with us tonight. And we will see you on the next episode.
Check out Marty's picture on Facebook.
That's right. Dun 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 dun. All right. Good night.